to Smalling. Smalling back out for Duggan.
Great help by Alec Arsenic, not letting Smalling get the shot up.
Duggan knocks Porter down and gets the basket.
Well, and he was the other one I was going to talk about. He's their starting post, 5th year, and he only played 6 minutes in that half, and he's one of their, top scorers. Was only was 0 for 3.
Michael with the layup in the basket. Ryan has 14.
You get the impression that Coach Crooks was not happy with some of his players, and he sat a few of them down.
Nazapur. He had 12 in the first half to lead Winnipeg.
The other thing, you look at the stats, Regina, I think it's Zach, Michael, and Jason Drummond. They were kind of the 4 shooters at half. They only hit 50% of their shots. Everyone else was about 50%.
Pretty much. Yeah, you look at the numbers there in the half. It was Schwartz 4 of 4, Arsenic 2 of 2, Porter 5 of 6, Ryan Michael 4 of 6, Zach Michael 1 of 2, Jason Drummond 1 of 2, Joel Hunter 6 of 8, Greg McCoy 1 for 1.
Well, and normally if you get 4 players in double figures in a game, you're going to be awfully successful. Cougars had 4 players in double figures in a half.
Duggan hits both of his shots, and this is Zach Michael.
Now, things are going well for your team. Coach Hillis didn't even take his whiteboard into the team room. He didn't have any plays to diagram.
Basket will not count as a foul is charged against Brendan Schwartz.
Brennan's arguing that. Brennan doesn't want to spend too much time arguing. Don't waste your breath. 28 points.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Smalling being watched by Michael. If Winnipeg's going to get back into this game, he has to heat it up.
Well, Zach Michael and Joel Hunter did a tremendous job in Alden Smalling first half. Just didn't give him any easy looks. When he did beat them to the basket, there was always help. And nothing in transition.
Schwartz foul away from the ball, and it's going to go against Richter on Porter. Richter doesn't like it, lets the referee know about it.
Well, I mentioned earlier, those two got into it a little bit in the first half. And as I said, these teams really do not like each other.
Tony Richter and the referee having some words for one another, and we have an early timeout here, 2.5 minutes in. 70-42 for the Cougars. You're watching Access 7 Sports.
Join Access Communications for the 2003 Sask Power Scott Tournament of Hearts Provincial Women's Curling Final. Live Sunday, January 26th, beginning at 1:30 p.m. on Access 7.
Back at the pack, Mitchell Blair, Dave Taylor with you here. U of R Cougars having their way with Winnipeg. They lead it by 28. Earlier tonight, the women beat Winnipeg 83-75 behind 29 points from Simone Bouchard. Michael, as he comes into the lane, is fouled by Richter, and for Richter, Dave, that's 4 fouls.
And Winnipeg's got to do a better job now. I mean, that was such an obvious foul. Contest the shot, but don't just reach in like that. That's just not a smart play, taking your 4th foul like that. There's a lot of frustration, I think.
Schwartz to Porter. Porter working at Opanubi, little jump shot, that doesn't go. Arsenic hard with a rebound. Porter gets the basketball, but they are going to call Porter on a foul. And Porter had a look at disgust, but as you said, he's not really going to say anything about it.
No, he wasn't happy, but he knows not to say anything to the refs.
Nazapur.
Should mention here, I guess the next game Access will be doing is when Simon Fraser's in town 2 weeks from now. And this weekend sold out quickly, and tickets for the SFU weekend go on sale, I believe, January 27th. You want to get your tickets early because it'll sell out on that Monday probably.
And I would think for your team, Dave, what a great measuring stick to go up against when you go up against a team that's number 1 in the country, especially after you beat a team that was number 1 in the country just last week.
Yeah, and Winnipeg's been number one all year up until last week when they dropped 2 to Manitoba. Those were their first losses of the year, and now Simon Fraser's ranked number one, and they've only lost once all year. So absolutely great measuring stick. And our team, our only losses this year have been to top 5 teams.
Have you got what it takes this year, Dave, to get back to nationals?
I don't know. I think a lot of things have to go right. We have no margin for error like we have in the past. With the Canada West being so strong again, Simon Fraser, Winnipeg, UBC, it's going to be tough. We've got to put a tremendous run together in playoffs. But certainly we're one of, 6 teams out of Canada West who can.
Well, that's the thing with Canada West. It's such a strong conference. As we see Duggan get the basket and the foul, it's such a strong conference that really you have to think that the wild card will come out of Canada West as well.
Yeah, we get 3 spots automatically.
Oh, you get 3 spots
now.
now.
The way the
okay.
women's work is whoever won the Nationals the year before gets this wild card.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Which is strange because had Laval won last year in the final, Quebec would have got 2 spots out of a 4-team conference. Luckily, Simon Fraser won. The thing that'll be different this year for us, too, is we're going to have to go on the road to do it. There's a good chance we're going to open up playoffs on the road. We still have a shot at getting home court, but the way that our system is set up, that the 3 division winners have to get ranked in the top 4. So Calgary, regardless what their record is, if they finish first in their division, they will be top 4.
Arsenic. Off the window, good. Nazapur brings it back up the floor for Regina, or for Winnipeg. Smalling, and he is going to be called
great
on the
defense
charge.
by Zach Michael. Absolutely great defense. Smalling took it on the baseline. Zach just jumped into position and took the charge. Alden Smalling can just get nothing going tonight, and that's his 4th foul.
They're going to keep him in there, as this is Schwartz, and Smalling just moved guilty, number 5. Schwartz with the scoop, Drummond with the follow.
Everything's going right for Regina tonight. Jason Drummond gets a put back off the Schwartz miss.
Everything's coming up Cougar tonight here. 74-44. Michael.
I'm going to let you have that sing.
All right. Smalling with the steal. Smalling working on Michael, spin, scores.
Oh, and Zach almost got position on him again. And that's where Smalling is tough, is in transition, but he just has not been able to get that tonight.
Drummond. Schwartz. Little turnaround, that doesn't go. Smalling with the rebound.
Now he's looking for it a bit more. Still can't get anything going.
Arsenic with the rebound. Zach Michael with it now. That's Joel Hunter. Hunter brings it to the top of the key, near side to Michael. Back to Arsenic. Arsenic for 3, count it.
That's what I talked about earlier. He can score from anywhere.
From out there. He's not a 3-point shooter, is he?
Oh, he can shoot it from out there.
Well,
he can
obviously.
score from anywhere. As I said, he can just flat out dominate games. The knock on Alec often has been is that he can disappear at times too.
Dugan off the window, that's good. After a slow first half, Dugan has 8. Michael.
Again, I'm a little surprised. I know Winnipeg likes to play man-to-man, but you almost want to switch it up a little bit here and try something different because what they've been doing has not been working.
Smalling will bring it down the floor for Winnipeg. He has 4 fouls. Nazapur. Smalling. Cougar coaches wanted traveling, and Smalling takes it to the hole for the basket.
Again, good defense though by Joel Hunter. Kept him in front. When he did beat him, made him hit a tough shot.
Brendan Schwartz wasn't ready for that pass from Michael. And Schwartz did a good job to basically get control back. Throw it off a Winnipeg player. And we will have another timeout. So Cougars up by 27 points, 13 and a half to go And Dave, you got to wonder when James Hillis might start putting in some players that wouldn't normally see a lot of time out on the floor.
Yeah, still not very happy, it looks like, in this timeout, though. He felt that they're having a bit of a letdown. And I mean, this is tough. You blow a team out in the first half, and you want to finish the second half strong and not get into any bad habits. Be able to play everybody off the bench, give them lots of minutes, but not have any breakdowns that are going to carry over into the next night. And you do not want to give Winnipeg any type of confidence for tomorrow night. You know, sure, tonight's probably a done deal, but there's 2 games this weekend. Cannot give Winnipeg confidence, especially somebody like Alden Smalling. Keep him off the board. Put that thought in his head for tomorrow.
Drummond, Hunter, Michael, Arsenic, and actually both Michaels out there for Regina. Arsenic to Ryan Michael, or Zach Michael. That's Ryan Michael with the basketball now, 41. Back to Arsenic. Arsenic goes to the hole, puts it up. That shot short. And here comes Nazapur.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a great shot. It was 1-on-3, and more importantly, there was no white jerseys attacking the offensive board, and they'd been so successful that in the first half.
Michael, as the whistle blows, and we have some debris on the court.
Of course, next weekend, both of Cougar teams here would go into Calgary for some critical games. The women are ranked just outside the top 10, but they've been on a roll. The men are ranked in the top 10, and of course feature a couple of Regina Belfer products with
Hornsberger and
John Salgado.
Yeah, the ex-Cougars. Arsenic turns and puts it in. Nazapur. Irfan Nazapur into Richter. Richter across Dugan, pardon me.
Nazapur's been quiet here the second half. Having a very strong first half.
3, that doesn't go. Nazapur with the rebound, gets it to Dugan, and that'll go in. And now he has 12.
Yeah, he stepped it up the second half. Obviously sitting for 14 minutes, got his attention.
Jason Drummond fouled underneath.
Now, what was the spread at halftime again?
It was 64-38 at the half.
Yeah, so 26, so it's pretty much even this half.
15-14. Or 15, no, 16-14 now. As Drummond scores. Gets both of them. I got to talk to Hillis about not being such a good window, being a better window for me here. He's not listening to me now. We were beaking just before the half started. I can't see with him there.
Hey, you be nice to Coach Hillis. You may leave that clipboard out there for you to draw some plays if this game gets out of hand.
Well, if it gets out of hand.
More out of hand.
I can start doing some doodling. You go here, you go there. You pass it here, you pass it there, you shoot.
I think if they're up 60 or 70, he may let you do that.
Maybe. We got the leader Posey and Hamilton sitting beside us. He might get a couple of minutes before the game's over if this continues. Ian is the original White Shadow, you know.
The way Winnipeg's playing D tonight, I think Ian could put up some big numbers.
I think he could too. He'd slam a couple home. Dugan now with 13 as he nails the foul shot. And this is Michael. Michael being watched by Nazapur. Hunter. Hunter drives the lane, scoops it up and in.
That's a tough shot.
Yeah.
As much as I say it's not great to take it, into the key with 3 players there, if Joel Hunter can put that shot up, it's okay.
Nazapur.
Joel Hunter, 17 points already tonight.
Arsenic got a hand on that as it was Gooch trying to put it up. And now this is Arsenic, and that goes off the rim. And here comes for Winnipeg, it's Nazapur. Nazapur for 3. That's off the rim. Bounces around and into the hands of Drummond.
And I think this pace is fine for the Cougars. It's up and down. The clock's just running. And they're content just to play even with Winnipeg this half.
Hunter baseline. That doesn't go. Drummond comes in hard, and he'll be charged with the foul.
Again, not a bad foul, though. At least that time you saw 4 Cougars attack the old glass hard. It's a good aggressive foul.
Greg McCoy ready to check back into the basketball game. As Casey Gooch at the line.
Any advice for Mr. McCoy before he checks in here, Mitchell?
No, I'll just keep that. I'll keep it quiet.
He walked away pretty quick.
Yeah, I know he did. He knows. I'm just wondering, this Gooch kid, isn't that the kid that Arnold got bullied by all the time on different strokes? If this was Brandon, we'd have problems. Zach Michael coming down the court for Regina. Gooch 1 of 2. Hunter for 3. That doesn't go. Nazapur out for the rebound. And then Winnipeg called for the travel.
You know, we've talked about Joel Hunter before, and it's been said, like, when Joel misses a shot, you're shocked.
Yeah. When anybody misses a shot for the Cougars tonight, we're shocked. The way they're going, you got to think with 11 minutes to go that they will hit the 100-point mark tonight. Hunter.
Again, notice Alden Smalling sitting again for extended periods this half.
McCoy. Greg McCoy inside. What a pass from McCoy to Arsenic. Arsenic couldn't get it, but Schwartz right there in the follow.
Great pass, great cut, and then great off weak side rebound. Brandon Schwartz to finish.
Simpson. Off the backboard, off the side of the backboard. Now Arsenic. To Michael. Michael speeding up court. Nice pass for Hunter. And I don't know if he was ready for it. And it bounced off Winnipeg, put it out of bounds, but
turnover there, but Zach's been doing a great job tonight running the point. Winnipeg brings a lot of pressure, and Nazapur certainly can put a lot of pressure on the ball handler, and Zach just has not turned it over, run good offense, and found the open man in transition.
Joel Hunter will sit down. He has 17 on the day. And with his first touch of the basketball for Manitoba is Kevin Yeboah, number 10. He has it in his hands right now. Yeboah will shoot, and that's short. And then Greg McCoy looked like he took a finger in the eye. See, and that's what I was going to tell him. Don't take a finger in the eye, but he ran away before I could tell him that.
Kevin Yeboah, a former high school teammate of Alden Smalling. I coached against those two. Very tough high school team, but I think you want to let Kevin Yeboah have that outside shot. That's not his strength.
You take a look at Greg McCoy, who shakes that off. Schwartz, top of the key. Schwartz through the key. Wanted to put it up, and Winnipeg wanted to travel. Well, that's not going to happen. And Greg McCoy comes to the bench and says that he wants to come off, and he will do so. And William Porter will check in.
And I wonder if he wears contacts, if he lost his contact a little bit.
Bryden Wright to inbound it. To Porter. Easy jumping.
We haven't called his name in a little bit. Had a strong first half. Puts up his 15th point of the night.
Yeboah. To Casey Gooch. Gooch. That's Opanubi with it. Back to Yeboah. Yeboah working on Michael. He's turned back. Michael now moves in as this is Gooch or Leslie, pardon me, and Oliver Leslie with his first basket of the night.
Yeah, he doesn't normally play a lot for Winnipeg. If he's getting these minutes, you know, obviously Dave Crook giving some of his bench some minutes here in this blowout.
Schwartz to Bryden Wright. Wright back outside to Schwartz, kicks it back outside to Michael. Porter for Schwartz. Schwartz turns, and he got tangled up in the feet of his defender, and the foul will be called, and it's going to go against Opanubi, his second. You don't even want to try that name, do you?
No, I'm not going anywhere near that name.
Right.
He's number 14.
Yes.
Matt Chirkus getting ready to check in for Regina for the first time tonight.
Arsenic fouled on his way up. Alec Arsenic will go to the line. Talked about Arsenic and his numbers earlier. Shooting 54% from the floor this year, 74.5% from the line is Alec Arsenic.
One of the other things should just mention here with that Simon Fraser weekend coming up, the men's team from Simon Fraser was ranked number 1 and has been following the standings. They lost their second leading scorer right at Christmas time, academically ineligible, because Simon Fraser has some stricter rules than the CIS has. So it's under appeal, but that's been why they've been falling. Is second leading scorer, 19 points a game, Jordan Mason. And I believe he was certainly all conference, might have been all Canadian last year. It's a tough loss for them.
The two 13s get at it, and Arsenic forces a jump ball. Well, actually, they're going to call a foul on Arsenic. I thought they were going to call a jump ball there, but...
Of course, Simon Fraser also brings to town Jessica Kazauka, another former Regina product.
You know, we were talking about that in the women's game, recruiting-wise. Christine, obviously, when she was here, got all the top players out of the city, maybe with the exception of Jessica Kazauka. With Jeff Speedy here, is it going to be tougher for him to get the top players out of Regina because maybe he's not as well known yet as what Christine was, or do you anticipate a problem there?
I don't think so, because I think, as much as Christine certainly was a great recruiter, it was largely the program. And, we always talk about the players being the best recruiters. Who wouldn't want to come play with Simone Bouchard?
And when it comes right down to it, it's the assistant coach, right, that does everything, correct?
I'd like to think that.
All right.
The other thing is what Jeff Speedy will bring is, he's got some British Columbia connections in the college system in high school. So if anything, maybe our recruiting base expands. And it's not a bad thing right now because certainly the number of quality players coming out of Saskatchewan isn't as high as it has been with the women, especially in the post position.
William Porter missing that shot. When you look at the high school situation here, again, there are just tremendous players in the Regina high school system, both on the women's and the men's side. I know the kid at the Belfer, Levi Van, who I know wants to play south of the border at his dad's alma mater, but boy, would he look good in the Cougar uniform.
Oh, absolutely. He can just flat out score a game. But yeah, one of the ones who wants to kind of pursue that American dream.
Yaboa drives it to the basket, and he scores, kissing it off the window.
One of the things, and it happens with the men and the women, what we're lacking in Saskatchewan right now is post players. For the men, that's 6'7", 6'8", inside presence. For the women, 6 feet, 6'1". There just isn't that in Saskatchewan right now. And both teams are having to go out of province to recruit that. William Porter's a good example of that. And, we'll get Phoebe Gieselman back next year, but we still need.
Yeah. Matt Cherkas with the turnaround there, his first basket. And now we're going to have a timeout with 7:16 to go. Your score here, 91-62. Cougars lead up by 29. Dave and I will wrap this one up for you and bring you the final 7 minutes right after this. You're watching Canada West Men's Basketball on Access 7 Sports.
If you would like to comment on Access 7 Sports, call our viewer response line at 565-5387. Fax us at 565-5372. Or you can email us at access7.regina@accesscom.ca. We thank you for watching and hope that you're enjoying this Access 7 sports presentation.
Back to action. Mitchell Blair, Dave Taylor with you back at the pack. Kevin Yaboa out to Gooch, and Gooch nails the three.
So what do you think Coach Dave Crook of Winnipeg says in that timeout? What do you say at this point as a coach?
What do you feel like for a post-game meal?
Somebody go tell the bus driver to start warming it up.
Yeah, pizza or lasagna tonight, boys. William Porter off the window. That doesn't go, and this is Yaboa bringing it back for Winnipeg.
Now,
Gooch with the running jumper. That doesn't go. And this is Wright bringing it back for Regina.
Now, as easy as this is looking tonight, let's not forget tomorrow night, Alden Smalling is going, he's not going to be shut out for 2 games in a row. Dan Dugan's going to have a stronger game, and there's some guys for Winnipeg coming off the bench, giving them some good minutes. Omar Simpson and some others. So the fact that it's a blowout, sometimes as a coach, that makes you nervous the first night because you know the other team is going to respond.
Well,
Saturday.
yeah, and also, too, these guys are being embarrassed tonight. They're down by, 24 now, and they want to show this team they're a lot better than 24 points. Foul underneath on Bill Swart. That's his second.
Now, the one advantage that you do get tonight with this type of blowout is everybody gets lots of minutes, and so you've got fresh legs going in the second night.
Bryden Wright getting some valuable minutes. Matt Cherkis getting out there for the first time. Jason Drummond probably seeing more minutes than usual as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can rest some people like a William Porter, whose knees have bothered him all year. You can rest him. Doesn't have to play as many minutes as normal, and that helps you the second night.
Bryden Wright misses the first one.
Well, we'll start the 6-minute Alden Smalling watch. I think he's at 6 points. See if the Cougars can hold him to under 10, half his season average. Now I'm creating storylines here in the last 6 minutes.
There you go. Smalling has the basketball. He's number 11. That's Dave Brar with it. Brar drives through the key and puts it up. He is fouled. And it was Bryden Wright, I think, got a hand on him. No, it was Matt Cherkis. Dave Brar misses the first one. Nails the second, and for Dave Brar, that's his initial point tonight.
I think Winnipeg needs to bring in their assistant coach, Matty Marotti, former All-Canadian. He might be the only Winnipeg player able to score tonight.
Foul on the Cougars. That was on Michael, his fourth.
Nobody for Winnipeg wants to even inbound the ball.
They're voting over their pizza lasagna still. They're looking at that sign saying beer and pizza night tomorrow 5 to 10 and going, we just sort of have that now. Brar dishes it off to Richter, and Richter off the window and in. Richter has 7. Hunter to Cherkis. Jason Drummond, top of the key. Arsenic for 3. That falls off the rim. And Winnipeg rebounding is Nazapur. Nazapur just about bumped James Hillis around there as he collected the basketball. Smalling driving to the basket. And he is knocked down. And we'll have a foul there. As Brad Ficula gets ready to check into the game for Regina, number 21. And we have a timeout, Regina. As James Hillis basically wants to talk it over with some of the new troops that are getting in there.
I believe Coach Hillis has gone as deep into the bench as he can. I think all 12 players who are eligible to play tonight have.
I've only got 11 on my roster. And there could have been somebody else out there that just hasn't.
Well, there's another developing storyline.
There it is. There's Matt Cherkis' dad, Ron Cherkis, way in the background, along with Glenn Fakula, the coach of Balfour. Taking a look at their sons getting some playing time.
Of course, after tomorrow night, the Cougars go off to Calgary, come back here for Simon Fraser, and then finish out in Winnipeg against University of Manitoba. Coach Hillis made a good point after that Brandon split last weekend, too, is, what it allows them is they control their destiny, but really, they may still need to sweep the rest of the year because Brandon has the ability not to lose.
Dave, you brought up a very good point a while back. Tickets for that series between Simon Fraser and Regina will go on sale on the 27th. And the gym tonight here, it's packed. It's full. These games have been sold out. And with Simon Fraser coming in here, both teams very high ranked in the country against your two teams that are, obviously threats this year. You're going to want to buy your tickets right now. And you don't want to miss Cougar basketball because it's very exciting, especially here at the Pack. When it gets going here, the electricity is something else.
Yeah, and all those people who phoned me for tickets this weekend, I won't have any for Simon Fraser either.
Joel Hunter for 3.
That's his 20th point of the night.
Smalling. Nazapur. To Richter. Richter working on Arsenic, puts a shoulder into him, misses the shot, and Arsenic comes down with the board.
Well, and to keep with the theme, it's so critical for the Cougars to get home court advantage because the way the Canada West men's series works is they play off in their division, 2 versus 3, and then the winner comes to the home of 1, which would be Regina. And then from the 3 divisions, the 3 division winners and a wild card get to go to the final 4 to decide who goes to nationals. And, I just do not think that Regina is going to get that wild card spot. And again, it's some of the stuff we talked about earlier with the rankings, etc., the respect. Even if they finish, first in their division, they probably have to win to get in.
So regardless, even though Regina's beaten Brandon 3 or 4 this year, they're going to have to play that Bobcat team again before everything's said and done.
Yeah, and what you want is you want to play them at home because they've had a tremendous record against Brandon at home. Certainly they know they can go into Brandon and win, but whether you can win 2 out of 3 in Brandon, nobody's done it in a long time.
Hunter. Joel Hunter having a great night here. He now has 22. Smalling, who hasn't had a great night, much to the joy of James Hillis. Dugan gets the basket and the foul.
Well, and again, I can't say enough about the defense that Joel Hunter and Zach Michael have played on Alden Smalling. And of course, you get team defense as well when they have gotten beaten, but they just have not let them have any easy looks. I remember early in the first half, you got a couple of looks at threes where they weren't tight on him, but he missed both. But since then, nothing.
Dugan with 17 in the second half, 19 for the game. Bakula. Drummond to Michael. Michael from the right wing puts it up and in. Ryan has 16. Smalling working on Hunter.
Again,
Had the dribble go off the
nothing.
foot of Drummond. He's just got nothing. This is Hunter for 3. Count it!
Joel Hunter, on the other hand, just cannot miss. He is on fire.
Tell you what, get Joel Hunter outside because the way the weather's been this week, he can warm it up in a big hurry. El Nino would be back. Nazapur. Fouled by Arsenic.
I think we're going to find the first person who can stop Joel Hunter, and I think that's Coach Hillis. Bryden Wright may come in for him here.
And Joel Hunter should get a pretty good round of applause here.
Oh, no.
No, it's not. It's going to be Michael who's coming out for him.
Oh, and here comes our 12th player. Number 25, Rod Jelinek.
And that would be why I don't have...
He is what's referred to as a big body.
So am I.
Okay, big athletic body.
All right, there we go. Let's clarify that.
6'10".
Rod Jelinek wearing number 25, and he's not hard to spot out on the floor.
Hasn't got a lot of playing time. In fact, I can't remember seeing him this year.
McEwen to Drummond top of the key. That doesn't go.
He's a bit of a project, but just sheer size alone, he's going to help the Cougars down the road.
Smalling dishes it off to Brar.
Probably telling some of these smaller guys to slow it up a little bit.
And now we're going to have a foul on Jelinek. Away from the ball. As he got into it with his defender. I believe that was Dugan.
Well, Dan Dugan's 6'6", 230 pounds, and he just about disappears when Jelinek's guarding him.
Jelinek shakes his head in disgust at that foul. This is Smalling to Dugan. Dugan working on Jelinek. Dugan with the turnaround. Nothing but air from Mr. Dugan on that one, and Bakula comes away with it. Has it stolen, and Leslie then charged with the foul as he tried to get the steal on Bakula. And nice job by the rookie there to get the position and get the foul charged.
Of course, the Cougars went up over the century mark. Actually took them a little longer than I thought. For a while there, I thought they were going to hit it inside of 7 or 8 minutes.
Bakula misses the first.
And if anything, this, as strange as it sounds, this 101-80 score actually flatters Winnipeg a little bit.
Oh, it does.
Cougars have just put it on cruise control second half.
With that point by Bakula, now Bryden Wright and Rod Jelinek are the only players not to get on the score sheet. Jelinek with the rebound. And he is fouled, and Rod Jelinek's going to go to the line. So if Rod Jelinek can get one of 2 here and Bryden Wright can get a basket before the night is over, all the Cougars will be on the score sheet.
Well, and I think these may be Rod Jelenick's first points this year.
Well,
first points in a Cougar uniform.
Let's just take a look here. You will be right.
I don't want to jinx him.
There it is.
That's a nice hand.
So now Bryden Wright, the only Cougar not to get on the score sheet tonight. We'll see if we can get one here in the last 2 minutes.
The crowd recognizes that Rod can help this team down, in a couple of years. Happy for him to get his first points in Cougar uniform.
Simpson putting it up over Wright. That's good. 1-4 over the other.
Well, and again, and I keep going back to it, but Alden Smalling with 6 points, and I'm sure, there must be 7 or 8 Cougars who have outscored him. If you had said that before the game, it's inconceivable.
Hunter had that shot partially blocked, and this is Dugan bringing it back up the floor. Brown with it. Now Brown on the right wing takes it to the hole, and that doesn't go. Rebound, and they'll give it to Regina. 90 seconds to go.
Regina's got a very, very young lineup here, all first and second year players.
So this is the future right here.
Yes.
Joel Hunter to Fakula. Fakula dishes it off to Bryden Wright, out to Matt Cherkis. Cherkis drives, puts it up, he's fouled on the way up.
Good decision. Gave a nice fake out on the perimeter and took it hard at the hole.
Matt Cherkis will go to the line. Running down the offense for the Cougars tonight. Drummond with 6, Schwartz 13. Arsenic 16, Hunter 26. McCoy 2, Porter 15, Ryan Michael 16. Zach Michael 6, Cherkis 2, Fakula 1, Jelenic 1.
Yeah, so 7 players had as much or more than Alden Smalling for Winnipeg. And it's 82 points when you talk about what great defense. You gave up 82 points, but it was. A lot of this came in the second half, just junk time.
Yeah, once again, the score at the half, 64-38.
And this game, has been one of those up and down games where there's been a lot of possession, so the score, is going to be up there.
Nazapur misses the first.
Going to say, though, this is a little more relaxing probably than the women's game was tonight for you.
A little bit.
Not quite as exciting.
I can't criticize the assistant coach as much in this game as there was in the women's game. It was Becky doing all the criticism, that's right. Jelenic. Out to Bryden Wright. Wright, nice pass to Cherkis. Cherkis for 3, no. Simpson, nice pass to Dugan. Dugan and Leslie should have fought for that one, and Dugan came away with it. Tell you what, Rod Jelenic is a load out there, isn't he?
Oh, yes. He is a wide body.
Cherkis comes away with it with 25 seconds to go. Fakula.
Well, the Cougars take care of business here Friday night. They've got to do it again tomorrow night against a tough Winnipeg team.
Will they try and work a play here? Will they try and work a play here for Bryden Wright? Joel Hunter for 3. I guess they answered my question. I don't think the Cougars are going to touch the ball again. Nazapur for 3. That's not going to go, and Bryden Wright with the rebound, and he sort of slaps it out of bounds.
So the Cougars here are going to improve to what in conference?
9-4.
9-4.
No, 9-4. And it is a successful night at the university for both Cougar teams as the women win 83-75 and the men breeze to a 108-83 victory. And Dave, really, that first half, tell you what, if Coach Hillis could bottle that, he definitely has something in his hands, because that was maybe the best first half of basketball that you've seen the Cougar team play in a long, long time.
Oh, it was unbelievable. They're 77%. They were scoring on everything, putting up 64 points like that. You're not going to lose any game putting up 64 points and a half.
So your final again, the Cougars beat Winnipeg 108-83. Dave Taylor, thank you very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Remember, basketball fans, get out on the 27th and buy your tickets when Simon Fraser battles the Cougars, because those are going to be 2 extremely good basketball games, or 4 extremely good basketball games Friday and Saturday night. Dave, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. For Becky Poley and Dave Taylor, I'm Mitchell Blair. You've been watching Access 7 Sports.
Doubleheader. And another big game for the Cougars after getting swept by Calgary last weekend. The Cougars falling back into a tie with Brandon for top spot in the Great Plains Division. Good news for the Cougars with 50-year guard Brennan Schwartz returning to the lineup after suffering a broken bone in his right hand. And got the early first half highlights for you. Jeff Antwi for 3 misses. Schwartz with the rebound, and there he goes to Ryan Michael. Michael to the rack, misses. Steals the ball, misses, but Alec Arsenault is there for the one-handed putback. Cougars up by 2. Then Pasha Baines, the steal, and the uncontested jam. The Clan up by 2. Zach Michael, and down low to Will Porter, gets the handle on it, finds Schwartz. The turnaround jumper goes. Cougars by 3. Then Joel Hunter, the steal. And there he goes. Coast to coast. Cougars up by 6. Pretty sloppy first half. Lots of turnovers. Another one by the Clan. Hunter to Schwartz. He lays it in off the glass. Cougars up by 5. Clan staying close. Raj Mander for 3. Cougars, though, still up by 6. Schwartz doesn't look like that broken hand was bothering him at all today as he takes it to the rack. Cougars by 9. Then Arsenault to Schwartz. He misses, but gets his own rebound. Plenty of hustle, lays it in. Cougars led 40-33 at the half. Go on to win it 85-70. So a big win for them. Joel Hunter leading the way for the Cougars with 25 points. So the Cougars at worst at least maintain a tie for first. And again, they hold the tiebreaker with Brandon. So they can win out. They'll win it and they'll be home court for the playoffs. Meanwhile, the first
Thrilling 87-83 overtime win by the woman. Mitchell Blair alongside the assistant coach of the Lady Cougar basketball team, Dave Taylor. And Dave, congratulations on a great win over the #1 team in the nation. And we'll get to that game in a bit here. But right now, as the men's game starts, it is Zach Michael with the basketball, the brother Ryan. Ryan spins and then comes back a little bit as he hands it off to Porter. Porter with a one-hander.
And they like to do that early, as established Will Porter right off the bat inside. A couple of people to watch for Simon Fraser here. 33, Pasha Baines, and number 5, Brent Charlton. Those are their 2 go-to guys.
Pasha Baines, the leading scorer in Canada West. He is averaging 21.7 a game. With the basketball for Simon Fraser. This is McCarroll. Luke McCarroll, a native of Australia, hitting on the basket to tie it at 2.
Couple of keys for Regina tonight. If, Pasha Baines is going to get his points, but hold Brent Charlton down. Don't let him go for 30. And make sure you're not getting beat too badly in the rebounding department.
Ryan Michael will inbound it here for the Cougars. Minute gone in this game.
Other thing to watch for Regina tonight is Brennan Schwartz healthy again? Well, as healthy as he can be after sitting out last weekend's matches in Calgary.
Brennan Schwartz with a broken hand that caused him to miss the games in Calgary. Said there was no way he was going to miss this weekend. McCarroll to Baines. Pasha Baines, top of the key, being watched by Michael.
Can see it. Ryan Michael trying to force him left. That's the other strategy.
Dave. Ripped down by Arsenault, and this is Zach Michael to Arsenault. Arsenault to Zach, and then that pass goes out of bounds, and Simon Fraser will take over. It was Ryan guilty of throwing it out of bounds.
As I say, Pasha Baines can certainly score going left, but he's maybe not as effective as going right.
Jeff Antwi bringing it up for Simon Fraser, gives it to Charlton. This is McCarroll. And now Pasha Baines. Baines being watched. Dishes it off to the corner. 3 ball put up. That doesn't go. Rebound into the hands of Schwartz, and Regina has numbers as they head up floor. Schwartz dishes it off, and that just missed. As that was Ryan Michael, who couldn't connect. Rebound, and it's tipped home by Arsenic. And we're going to have an early timeout here. And when we have this early timeout, Dave, I just want to talk about that game that we just saw here. That might have been one of the most exciting games, if not the most exciting women's basketball game that's been played in this gymnasium for a long time. Like I said to Becky, I can't think of one, maybe with the exception of the year you guys won Canada West on Heather Dedman's last second shot.
Yeah, and the last...
Because when you go over, then it's just you're backing up and you're too
the
far
crowd
away,
has been.
okay?
I mean, number 1 team, number 4, great game, overtime. What more can you say?
And really, I think you saw the top 2 players in Canada going at it, and Jessica Kazoka and Simone Bouchard, and really those two different games, but they went at one another.
Oh, and it was outstanding, the battle between those two.
As we rejoin play, playing it in, off the window, that is Sean Halverson. Zach Michael will bring it up the floor for Regina. Being watched by McCarroll. Zach has that pass intercepted by Pasha Baines. Take it home.
Pasha Baines, it's his 3rd-year eligibility, first year of Simon Fraser. He went down south. He was originally recruited at Wyoming, left with the coach there and went to Clemson in the ACC, played there a year, sat out last year, came home.
Schwartz has that pass for Ryan Michael. To go past him and out of bounds, and Simon Fraser will take possession.
Interesting, coming out of high school, Pasha Baines was widely acknowledged as maybe the top player in Canada.
Jeff Antwi bringing it up for Regina. That pass off the foot of Michael. And Simon Fraser will retain possession.
Saying earlier, it's interesting, Simon Fraser, tale of 2 seasons already. 7-1 at Christmas time, ranked number 1 in Canada. Since then, 1-7 in conference and dropped out of the top 10. And we'll talk about there's a reason why for that when we have a stoppage here.
That ball tipped home by Sean Halverson. He has 4, and Regina down by 4 early on. Michael. Schwartz. Brendan Schwartz. Schwartz double team and gets it out. Now Arsenic. He'll drive baseline, put it up. He's going to be fouled on the way up. And guilty of the foul there should be Brent Charlton.
I was about to say, obviously an effective timeout by Simon Fraser, gone on a 6-0 run since then.
Simon Fraser, as you said, a tale of 2 different teams here this year, but they're without one of their big guns.
That's right. At Christmas time, they lost Jordan Mason, their 2nd leading scorer, to academics. A rule that they have at Simon Fraser that is a little tougher rule than the CIS requires, and it was under appeal. It sounds like it's not going to come through, and so they've lost him for the season. Big loss. They were certainly a national title contender with him.
Arsenic hits both, so he has 4. Antwi brings it back up the floor for SFU. Baines being watched by Ryan Michael. Baines inside, and that pass for Sean Halverson doesn't connect as Halverson sort of fell off his defender, and when he did so, lost his balance, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, nice D by William Porter.
Ryan tries to dish it outside, and the whistle goes as he lets the pass off. And we're going to have a foul, and it's going to go against the... They're going to charge it on Baines? Yes, they will. That'll be his first.
You know, and how often have we said this, but again, Regina is outmatched size-wise. They're giving up some size in the post.
Arsenic for 3. That's good. Alec Arsenic.
Well, we've talked about him. He's got the ability to step out and hit that shot.
Big man from beyond the arc putting it down, and it's 9-8 for Regina. Luke McCarroll. McCarroll comes to the foul line, then dishes it back to Halverson. Halverson, jumper from the outside.
And Simon's not even going to the boards yet, so that'll help Regina if they're not crashing the boards hard.
Schwartz turns, wants to put it in, up and under. That goes. Schwartz couldn't connect. And tried to tip it home and couldn't get his hands on the ball. And back comes Simon Fraser.
Of course, you wonder how much of that is due to Schwartz's injury on his hand.
Charlton puts it up, little rainbow, and that doesn't go. Arsenic puts it to the floor and hands it off to Zach Michael. Michael quickly bringing it up the floor for Regina. Inside to Porter. Porter couldn't get control of it, now does so. Now that's Schwartz down low, puts it up and in. Antwi.
And I think the difference with that shot is Brennan didn't have any contact on him. I think he's shooting okay with that. When there's contact, it's going to be tough for him.
Raj Mander. Luke McCarroll. Down low to Charlton. Back to McCarroll for three, a wide open three, and that spins in and out. Rebound, Halverson with the follow.
And that's what you don't want. You get, they miss a shot, but you give up an easy board.
Michael. Zach Michael with the basketball. With brother Ryan. Inside, Porter, nice spin. William Porter.
Again, really looking to establish Will inside early.
Antwi. Antwi will take it to the foul line, and then he is fouled on the drive. I believe it was Schwartz that got a hand on him. Well, they're going to call it on Zach Michael. That'll be his first.
In comes Joel Hunter, score off the bench, their sixth man, but can provide instant offense. And Jason Drummond, who's just playing great interior defense for him this year.
The thing that I find interesting about this team this year, Dave, we'll get to it here in the next break, and we're going to have a foul away from the ball, and that's going to go on Charlton. That's his fifth. The Cougars this year, 10-6, leading their division, but they've given up more points than they've scored. And that's just not right when you look at a team that's 10-6, and yet they've given up 7 more points than they've scored.
Well, and add into that the fact that that one Winnipeg game was such a blowout.
Well, that's true. Which is just sort of, I guess they've been in their games. They've won, tells you they've won a lot of close ones, but when they've been beat, they've been hammered on.
Yeah, and I mean, last weekend in Calgary, it was exactly that. The first night, I don't think they showed up ready to compete. Not at the level they needed to, certainly. Just going to mention that second foul on Brent Charlton. That could be critical. He has to sit down. He was not happy about that.
Arsenic moves in, dishes it off, and then Drummond is going to be called with the walk.
Well, and you mentioned the Cougars' record to set this weekend up. Right now they're tied with Brandon. UBC, who's the number 2 team in Canada, I believe, leading the Pacific Division, going into Brandon. You got to hope that UBC can win 1, maybe 2 in there, and then take care of business here. So it's a big weekend, and of course they'll be watching the scores out of Brandon, cheering for Brandon the only time in their lives.
You don't want to do that. Pasha Baines. Baines to Raj Monder. Monder for 3. That doesn't go. Rebound, Halverson, and that doesn't go. And then the third attempt by Sean Stewart falls.
Yeah, sorry, cheering for UBC. We don't want to cheer for Brandon.
Cheering for Brandon?
That's
what sacrilege.
My head still not cleared up from the last
All right,
game.
I'll give you that. Schwartz, Hunter for 3. Count it.
Not the guy you want to leave open.
Luke McCarroll will bring it back up the floor for Simon Fraser. Sean Stewart dishes it off to Pasha Baines. Baines being watched by Michael. Michael strips it from him, and Hunter will bring it back up the floor. Hunter, hurried to the basket, lays it up and in.
And good defense by Ryan. Just kept him, forced him left, didn't give him the lane, made him turn it over.
Cougars lead it by 6. McCarroll. Halverson. Raj Monder with it now, being watched by Hunter. McCarroll inside for Baines, and that's stolen away by Ryan Michael. Quickly up for Hunter. Hunter for three. That goes off, and then Michael with the rebound.
Might have been
Hunter's
a
down.
foul there. Hey, he got hit after the shot. Usually if you get knocked down, the foul's called.
Hillis was looking for the foul, Coach Hillis, but none came. Tasha Baines puts it up for three, hits it.
That is a tough shot. That is just great defense, but a step back three.
Hunter for Schwartz. Brennan wasn't looking for it, and Schwartz and Hunter are going to talk that over.
There's no D to play on that shot that Tasha Baines just hit. But, as much as Regina plays that run and gun style and isn't known for their defense, the games we've done this year, they shut down Alden Small.
Yeah, they sure have.
They've shut down some big scores.
Well, last week or 2 weeks ago when Winnipeg was in here, they really did a good job in handling the Winnipeg players that they had to handle.
Well, and one of the things, you talk about, they're giving up, 84 points a game. But a large part of that is just the style they play. They're so up and down. There's going to be more possessions in the Cougar game than there is in other games.
Okay, and then we can throw back. Let's do that right now, Schwartz. Okay? So you can throw back, but the wing's got to go through as this guy goes. Okay? And make the read, Schwartz.
So James Hillis giving direction there to his squad. They're up by 3, 11-10 to go. Mitchell Blair along with Dave Taylor, bringing you this CIS Canada West men's basketball game between Simon Fraser and the U of R. U of R were ranked number 9 after their 2 wins over Winnipeg, but they went to Calgary, got beat twice handily by the Dinosaurs, and fell back out of the top 10. So a couple of wins this weekend, and maybe they can get back into the top 10.
Well, and it was frustrating, I think, the second night because they had a 10-point lead at halftime and really hurt themselves down the stretch. I'm not sure how much it was Calgary beat them as opposed to Regina losing that game. I know Coach Hillis was certainly frustrated. On the road in Canada West against good teams, what you're trying to get is the split.
Yeah, last weekend beat 97-65 and 86-72 in Calgary. Certainly better weekends have been put forth by the Cougar men this year. That might have been their worst weekend of the year.
And to lose the second night by 14 when you're up by 10 at halftime, that's a 24-point swing there.
Tasha Baines with 7 as he nails both. And Schwartz will bring it up the floor for Regina.
And as important last weekend, let Brandon back in the race for the playoff spot.
Schwartz goes to the other hand. That doesn't fall. Ball loose. Porter picks it up. Porter puts it up, and he can't. He is fouled on the way up. And the big man will go to the line.
And as we're flipping to see what Will Porter's shooting from the foul line, 58%. Now, that's for all the games. Oh, I'm sorry.
63%.
63.
The big man from Memphis knocks down the first one.
Either one really isn't that outstanding.
No. William, that was Dave that said that.
Yeah. that helped.
Porter drains them both. He now has 6. Cougars lead it by 3.
Running a little weave up top.
Baines. Antwi drives baseline. Jeff Antwi can't finish it off. And back come Regina. This is Joel Hunter. Up to Brennan Schwartz. Regina quickly moving it up. Schwartz tries to get in there through the trees, and he is fouled. And they're going to call that foul on Sean Stewart. That'll be his first, and really, they could have called that in a handful of Klansmen there.
Well, and that's a tough foul, though, too, to give up because Brennan really had nowhere to go. I'm not sure that he had a chance of getting that shot off. Might have been a good time for a no call.
Drummond. Or correction, Bryden Wright. Arsenic. Back to Bryden Wright. The Joel Hunters, they work around the perimeter. Porter takes it, dishes it off. Arsenic out to Bryden Wright. Wright will push it back out to Schwartz. Hunter will drive. Hunter goes to one hand. Porter looked up for the rebound, couldn't get to it as Porter wanted to follow that with a slam, but just miscalculated a little bit, and Simon Fraser will come away with the basketball.
Well, and the height of Simon Fraser inside is affecting the Cougars. They gave up a couple inside shots because of the shot blocking of Simon Fraser.
Halverson working on Porter, kicks it back outside. Antwi slows it down. 15 on the shot clock. Halverson looked like he was a little bit afraid to shoot it from back there.
Well, and they weren't even guarded. They'll give him that shot.
McCarroll's pass intercepted by Joel Hunter. Hunter looks to his left, looks to his right, dishes it to Schwartz.
Hand looked good there.
No problems there. Brennan has 4. Page directing traffic. Arsenic just about stole it, and then the charge.
Oh, boy.
Sean Stewart gets the charge and an outstanding job of defense by
That is
Brennan
a
Schwartz.
terrible, terrible
Oh,
call.
they're going to...
That is a horrible call.
Well, did they not call it a charge? One official
No, they called
it.
the block. Watch this. Watch it come on replay.
This was a great play by Brennan Schwartz.
I don't know how you can say he was not in position. Here it comes. Look at Schwartz right there.
Oh, that's a bad call.
They're calling him for that little move at the end, but you know what? It wasn't his feet. And now that was a charge. And you know normally I agree with the ref.
Yes, I do. Boy, your opposition coach, Mr. Langford, he's quite the animated guy sitting over here.
Yes, he does. He works. He plays some mind games. He works the refs. Has a little fun with the crowd.
There's a little fun with the broadcaster, too.
When you've only lost 2 games in 3 years, you can have some
Yeah, I
fun.
guess you can afford to be a little bit cocky then. Drummond puts it up. That doesn't go.
And nobody went to the old boards there. Got to get people after the old glass.
Antwi bringing it back up the floor for Simon Fraser. They can close it within 2, and Antwi called on the double dribble.
Now, we're about 11 minutes, 15 seconds into the half. Ryan Michael hasn't scored yet, so you got to expect him to go on a bit of a run at some point here. He hasn't, and he hasn't really taken many shots.
Neither Michael Boy on the score sheet yet.
Now, Ryan is certainly doing a good job on Pasha Bain, so it's not like he's not playing well, but expect him to look for a shot a bit more.
Joel Hunter. Hunter looked for Brian Wright and decides to dish it off to Ryan. Ryan Michael out to Porter. Porter out high. 8 on the shot clock. Hunter dishes it back to Michael. Michael for 3. Count it.
That was all created by Joel Hunter because they were doing a good job on Ryan. Oh, defensive breakdown.
Underneath. Porter with the... Sorry to interrupt you there, Dave, but Porter with the stuff, and I'd like to see that one again.
He is not happy about that call. He is not happy at all. He thinks he got him clean. Here we go again. Watch this. Watch Will Porter come from the backside. You know what? He got his arm late, but he got the ball first. Again, questionable.
Entry is the first one, roll in and out.
Yeah, as I was saying, they're doing a good job on not letting Ryan get open looks, but Joel Hunter penetrated on the basket, was able to kick because they had to bring help side. Good move to subbing Will Porter out here, just to let him cool down. He was pretty hot about that. You don't want to take a technical at this moment.
Will Porter sits down, so you're 5 on the floor right now for Regina, Arsenic, the Michael boys, Joel Hunter, and Jason Drummond.
I think it's important, Regina, build up a bit of a lead when Brent Charlton's sitting down, because he may be the key to the Simon Fraser team.
Zach to Ryan. Ryan thought about putting it up, decides not to, then gets to the foul line, puts it up. It goes, and it'll count.
And Scott Clark, the Simon Fraser coach, thought that foul happened before he shot it, that it shouldn't count the basket.
Well, they go with the continuation. Foul on Stewart, his second.
This is why I don't want to be a referee. Hey, right now there's nobody in the building happy with these guys.
Ryan Michael at the line. Ryan Michael, 62% of his shots from the stripe, and he connects on that one.
And we've talked about that. That's unbelievable. If that good of a shooter is shooting that low percentage.
It's been an off year for Ryan at the stripe. McCarroll inside, and we're going to have a foul underneath.
Really my criticism here of the refs is that you can't really get an idea of what they're calling. That was a pretty touch foul, and then other stuff they're letting go. I don't think the players can get any kind of feel for how the reffing's going to go tonight.
Makes it tough,
and that's frustrating.
Makes it tough to get a rhythm here, and as we call timeout, we'll go back and see what James Hillis has to say with his team up by 9.
Okay, we're gonna go Wolf. Okay, so we're 12. Okay, we're gonna go 12 right now with Ryan up top. Okay, and let's go Joel in the back door because that little guy. Who's guarding you? Okay, take him. Okay, come out way high. He wants to go for the steal. Let's see if we can get the back door to Joel. So come over, right? And you really come out like ball. You know, like call his name, like sell it, you know? And get him, see if we can get him with a back cut. If we get back cut, then we go right away again, same play. Okay? If we don't get back cut and we go to the 3, then next time down, Joel runs point, we go shooters, 11. Okay? All right. Good patience. Okay? Good job. Let's go.
So what Coach Hillis is saying there is that number 11, Jeff Antwi, is really overplaying the ball, trying to steal it, and that he can probably hit Hunter back door. A little ironic calling the guy guarding Joel Hunter the little guy.
Well, Joel Hunter,
6'1" and a buck, not much.
6'1", 150. Jeff Antwi, 6'1", 185. I remember being 150 pounds at one point in my life.
Grade 5?
Yeah, about that.
You can see Alec Arsick not even pretending to guard that shot up top. Regina's just choosing who they're going to guard.
Baines. They move it around. Inside, that's Stewart. Back outside, that's Pander. McCarroll being watched by Zach Michael.
This guy they will guard.
Baines. Yeah, you want to guard this guy. Ball high up in the air. They leap for it. McCarroll goes down hard as Zach Michael, and he went up for the ball, and Zach will take the foul, and for Zach Michael, that's his second.
But you notice every time they're making Pasha Baines go left. And, you know, that's just good discipline on defense. Make him hit tough shots.
McCarroll being watched by Michael. Michael playing with 2 fouls. Mander for 3, counter.
And that's what Simon Fraser needs, is some of their other players to step up and hit those shots.
Zach Michael being watched by McCarroll. Arsenic. Michael. Michael inside to Joel Hunter. Nice catch.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Hillis wanted right there. Dead on. They executed that perfectly. Went second side, brought it back, and hit him on the back door.
You heard Coach James Hillis say that's what he wanted, and he got exactly what he was calling for, as Joel Hunter on the backdoor cut.
Ryan Michael doing a really good job on Pasha Baines here, making him work hard for any points he's going to score.
Halverson to McCurrow. Halverson working on Drummond. Goes to the hole, and they're going to charge Drummond on the foul as he slaps the ball away from Luke McCarroll, and now Jason Drummond has 2. As Brent Charlton will check back into the game for Simon Fraser.
And that, Regina doesn't want to give him those looks in close. They want to catch it in the high post, up at the foul line, give him that shot, because Simon Fraser doesn't want to shoot at their posts. Don't foul him in close to the basket where they go to the charity stripe.
Sean Halverson at the line, hits the first one. Halverson has 7. Make it 8. Joel Hunter will bring it back up the floor for Regina.
Dick White walking in behind us. Obviously got to be happy. Athletic director here at UR. I think this weekend sold out in about 25 minutes.
25 minutes is what it took. Michael to Schwartz. Back with the Hunter. Good ball movement. Hunter for 3. That's good.
That's just outstanding. Unselfish basketball. Ryan and Brennan passed up shots, got the open look they wanted.
And Joel Hunter pretty good from three-point land, but he hit him 46% of his shots from out there.
Nice help side there on defense by Joel Hunter as well. Came across, swiped away that lob pass.
Joel Hunter has 10. 5:50 to go in this first half. Cougars lead it by 9. Antwi being watched by Hunter. That's Pander. Pander dishes it back out to Antwi.
Again, giving up that three-point shot.
Great job. No, they're going to call Arsenic on the foul.
That's a tough one. They gave up the open look up at the 3, dared him to shoot it, but then left somebody open in the post.
Greg McCoy will check in for Regina. Zach Michael will sit down, or Ryan Michael will sit down. Although he won't be Arsenic that will sit down as Michael comes over to have a chat with James Hillis. And that's Halverson at the line. And the first one bounces away. Halverson can't connect on either one. And here comes Schwartz up the floor for Regina. to Hunter. Hunter for three again. That spins in and out. Porter can't get his hands on the rebound. Back comes Simon Fraser in a wild pass. And Joel Hunter says, thank you very much. I'll take that and bring it back up the floor for Regina. Hunter to Schwartz. Schwartz, baseline J, spins in and out. Tasha Baines with the rebound.
Regina's are doing everything right now. They're getting good looks. They're doing a good job defensively. Just got to continue.
Baines fouled by Ryan Michael on the way in.
And that's a second. You have to sit him down. Yeah, here comes Bryden Wright in for Ryan Michael.
So both Michael boys now with 2 fouls. And Bryden Wright will check in. Wright, Hunter, Porter, Schwartz, and McCoy. Your 5 on the floor for Regina at this time.
Tasha Baines, 75% foul. The free throw shooter. Kind of a quick release here. Doesn't look real smooth, but it went.
Tasha Baines, 2 for 2 from the line. He has 9. Cougars by 7 as Brendan Schwartz brings it up the floor. Hunter. Being watched by Antwi. Joel Hunter out to Porter. Porter inside. Bryden Wright, little shake and bake, and then puts it up. That doesn't go. Rebound. Porter there. Porter looking for a foul, doesn't get one. James Hill is looking for a foul as well.
And Regina's lucky there. 3 Simon Fraser players got the board, fumbled it between them, and came right to Will Porter.
Porter to Schwartz. Schwartz out to Hunter. Hunter wanted to put up another 3. Now he's going to drive, dish it back, and that was
that's a
bad
pass.
Dangerous pass, but a good job by Bryden Wright to keep it alive. Schwartz, baseline, that doesn't go. Rebound, and Stewart hauls it down.
You notice the Cougars are doing a great job on offense, being unselfish and waiting for the open shot.
McCarroll to Stewart, to Antwi. Antwi doesn't go off his foot, manages to keep possession of it.
Again, just daring Halverson to shoot.
Yep. They'll let Halverson shoot from out there if he wants. Now Antwi from long distance. That
Same
just barely
thing.
caught the front rim.
Yeah, they've definitely targeted who they're going to leave open.
Schwartz fakes the move to the right, takes it back to the left, and puts the one-hander in.
And a critical basket. I was about to say Regina hadn't scored in a while. They got good shots, but needed to knock one down.
Again, Halverson, they're just saying, shoot the ball, big man, and he won't.
He shot faked. I don't know why.
Baines for 3.
Yeah, and that's who will shoot it. Again, nice shot. Oh.
Stewart with a steal. McCarroll. Baines, drive, baseline. McCoy fouls him as he was going up.
But, Sean Halverson, as much as we're saying he's giving up shots, he's got 8 points because he's getting the easy ones inside, hitting a couple of foul shots.
Tasha Baines will go to the line. Foul on Greg McCoy, his first. Simon Fraser now in the bonus. Baines drops the first one. No problem with either one of them. It was a very casual approach to the line, too. Just pull them in.
And, it's not a real high release. Technically, it's not a great shot, but it goes.
As long as it gets in. McCoy out high. McCoy wants to get down low to Porter. Now Hunter to Porter. Porter, little jump shot over Halverson. Didn't work. And Antwi bring it back to the floor. Antwi working on Hunter, and he's going to be called on the travel.
Yeah, you can see why Simon Fraser struggled after Christmas. I mean, they just don't have enough pure scores. Other than Baines, Brent Charlton's been quiet today, but some of their other guys are having to step up and score, and they're not used to that. Whereas Regina has got, 5 pure scores.
Matt Cherkis will check into the game for Regina here momentarily. Bryden Wright to Brendan Schwartz. Schwartz down low to Porter. Porter, hook shot, doesn't go. Stewart gives it to Antwi. Hillis says, why isn't a foul being called?
Yeah, and I think that was some body on him, but a tough shot over 6'7".
Stewart being watched by Arsenic. Antwi out to Baines. Baines for 3. That doesn't go. Rebound. Halverson. And this time he has no problem in putting a shot up from underneath there. And he has 10. And now all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
Well, and a lot of confidence by Coach Hillis putting a rookie Bryden Wright out on Tasha Baines. statement about Bryden's athleticism. But it is tough for a rookie to be guarding somebody like that.
Arsenic right back to the Cougars.
Bryden Wright's got to do a good job just not letting Baines touch.
Nice job there underneath. A nice pass to Halverson. He couldn't finish up the layup. Hunter. Joel Hunter being double teamed. Nice pass to Arsenic. The dish to Schwartz, and the basket doesn't go. His body's underneath, and Schwartz with his own follow with the basket.
Yeah, I thought Alec maybe gave up a shot. It ended up working out well. Two Simon Fraser players collided coming on help.
Baines being watched by Wright. Pasha Baines. Baines dishes it off to Antwi. Antwi being watched by Hunter. Again, they just give Halverson all day out there, and then Halverson throws it away. Porter. William Porter. Porter goes to the one-handed hook, puts it up. Doesn't go, and William Porter's very frustrated
well,
right now.
And you know what? He had to give it up to Joel Hunter. You can't shoot that shot. Foul or no foul.
Baines, and this time they are going to call the charge as Bryden Wright takes it, and Pasha Baines gets charged with the foul.
You know, and that's one thing with Pasha Baines. I think you can draw charges on him because he wants to take it hard at the hoop. If you get in there and play position, you can draw those. Great job by Bryden Wright.
Bryden Wright will sit down after taking that charge.
Will Porter's still talking to the refs, too.
He
He's
sure
great,
is.
you know. Get composure.
Hunter. This is what has it knocked away by McCarroll. Hunter retains. Hunter goes all the way, puts it up, teardrop. Porter rebound, can't follow.
Great follow, though, by Will Porter. Way to attack the old boards.
Baines working on Matt Cherkis. Baines from the corner doesn't go. Rebound into the hands of Stewart.
They switched it up again. Matt Cherkis now and Pasha Baines putting a little more size out on him.
We're down to within 30 seconds here in this first half. It's been a quick first half. Antwi. Jeff Antwi working on Hunter. This is the first shot rebound. Halverson couldn't connect, and now Arsenic as the Cougars can play for the last shot.
Yeah, I think Porter got a piece of that shot, came across and blocked that. Very aggressive defense by Simon Fraser. I think Regina would like to get a look at a three.
Porter, nice move. Porter can't connect, but he's going to get the
Finally
foul call
gets the
this
call,
time.
yes.
And he will go for the line as Porter with a nice move there on the first step and took it hard. He was fouled by Halverson. That's Halverson's first.
Coach Mills trying to get Greg McCoy in for the shooter. You can tell it's a little closer game than the Winnipeg game. Coach Hillis doesn't seem as willing to give you the board to draw up a play.
Where is the board? No, it's right there. It's right. It's at my feet. I can get it if I need to.
Against Winnipeg, it was on the table right in front
that's
of you.
true.
You know what? Against Winnipeg, you could have drawn something
Yeah,
up and
well,
they would have scored.
They would have scored on it. Porter has the first one spinning it out. Yeah, that Winnipeg game was over by now. The Cougars have actually missed a shot in the first half, which they didn't do against Winnipeg.
That's interesting, too. The crowd's quieted down a bit. Obviously, they weren't going to stay as loud as the overtime, but I think they're waiting for a good run by Regina. A couple of exciting plays, and they'll be right back in it.
5 seconds to go here in the half. 40-33 your score. Simon Fraser looking here for a quick one. Baines. Baines being watched by Schwartz and McCoy. Baines gets the three-point line, and McCoy got a hand on it as the half comes to an end. And pretty good first half for Regina as they didn't get their scoring from the Michael boys like you'd expect. But Arsenic chips in with 9. Joel Hunter with a couple of big threes. He has 10 at the half. And the Cougars have a 7-point lead, 40-33 at the half. Dave and I'll be back with second half action. Right after this, you're watching Access 7 Sports. We are back, second half action. Mitchell Blair, Dave Taylor here with you at the Pack. Cougars lead this game by 7. Simon Fraser with the basketball in blue. This is Charlton taking it hard to the basket. He gets the first basket of the second half, and for Charlton, his first basket of the game.
And that's going to be a story. He sat most of the first half, 7 minutes, 0 for 2, no rebounds, and he's one of the top players in Western Canada. He's got to come out flying.
Schwartz and that shot.
For it.
Schwartz had his shot deflected, went to Porter. Porter with a nice little pass to Arsenic, and he his 11th point tonight.
We talked about a couple of keys that Regina was worried about. I mean, 7-point lead, but they did get out rebounded 20-13, gave up 6-0 boards, so they got to clean that up a little bit.
McCarroll's shot bounces around, doesn't fall, falls into the hands of Porter.
You know, the other thing we should mention here quick, too, is we talk a lot about U of R just outscoring people, but holding this team to 33 points, they played a great defensive half.
And this team hasn't been known for its defense this year. Although the games that we've had, you'd think they would be.
That's right. Oftentimes they're content to just outscore people, but they can play defense.
McCarroll being watched by 3 Cougars. He cuts it back to the outside now. Antwi, he'll drive. Meets the big wall known as William Porter. And then Michael comes in. We'll have a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to Regina.
Well, you know, and I'm not sure Sean Halverson left the key. He just planted himself in that low block and just stood there.
Sean Halverson's done a lot of just standing there tonight when he gets sort of beyond the dotted line.
But, you know, it's funny. We talked about that. 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, but all in close. He will not shoot it above the foul line.
Michael puts it up, and that doesn't go. Rebound into the hands of Halverson.
Ryan got it going a little bit late in the half. He ended up with 6 points. It took him a long time to get his first ones, though.
Antwi guilty of the travel, and it'll be Regina basketball.
You know, we had a close call here. I thought Coach Speedy was going to jump in for me.
I thought he was too. He had the mic on, had the headset, ready to go. He said you were going out to start the car and get pizza.
With the money he pays me, he better be buying pizza. And I hope he's watching this on Sunday.
Zach Michael with the basketball. I have a question I want to ask you, but we'll get to it though after. Michael. The Porter. Porter. Back to Michael. Michael for 3. That goes off the rim and then out of bounds, and they'll give it to Simon Fraser. So you guys were in Calgary last weekend, and you told me that you were going to watch the Red Wings and the Flames. Now, how could you do that when weren't you guys playing Saturday night?
Well, you know, and the sad thing, I ended up not going. However, I had it planned. Our game ended at 8, and I could have got to Saddle Dome a little late. But I'm a bit of a Red Wings fan. It's a good thing I didn't go because the Flames actually won a game and beat the Red Wings.
All right.
Coach Speedy's father-in-law is in town from Nova Scotia, though, and he was in Calgary, and he went to the game. Left our game at halftime. Coach Speedy wouldn't let me go with him.
Well, you should have said you were going for water or something. What's the matter with you? Alec Arsenic. Arsenic. Little turnaround. That goes. Nice shot by Alec Arsenic. McCarroll.
However, the men's team did go watch the Coyotes wax the Flames 7-0 or 7-1 on the Thursday night they got into town.
Michael.
So a little hockey was seen.
Michael out to Porter. Porter inside to Schwartz. Schwartz turnaround, doesn't go. Halverson with the rebound.
And again, you know, not a bad shot, but we got to send people to the offensive board.
Halverson. Shoot it, big man. He won't.
He's not even looking at the rim
not even
anymore.
looking at the basket. Baines puts it up. That doesn't go. Porter with gets a hand on the rebound, and Michael brings it back up to the brother. Ryan to Zach, or Zach to Ryan, excuse me.
Coach Hill is not happy, even though they're up 9. He knows that they can extend here. They're making some key mistakes.
And we may need to put the delay switch on this one.
Throw it to the wing, throw it to the corner, back screen for the other post, reverse it back again. The shots are all there. We got everybody on that side of the floor, nobody coming over. Set screen, set a flare, set the back.
Coach Hill is reteaching his offense.
In a rather vociferous way.
Yes, went over the basics of the offense there. Very frustrating as a coach when you know that if you execute, you're going to get open looks. And simple stuff. Good timeout by Coach Hillis.
Luke McCarroll brings it back up the floor for Simon Fraser. Good job. Luke McCarroll wasn't here earlier this week. the native of Australia, I don't think would have enjoyed the Regina weather
Well,
earlier this
and
week.
I got to tell you a funny story. Coach Langford of Simon Fraser says to me, comes up before the game, and I've known him for a while, and he said, "So this is warm, hey?" He goes, "This is cold." And I said, "You know what? You're lucky you weren't here a couple of days before." And he said, "I heard that." But Simon Fraser was saying how cold it was today. What was it, -3, -4?
It was above 0 for a while.
It's an ongoing joke in Western Canada, though. Winnipeg, Brandon, Regina, you want the BC teams to come in when it's -30. They do not like that.
Zach Michael basically maybe showing that he could try out for the Rams there as he pushes Charlton aside. Takes a foul. It's his third. So this is cold for Simon Fraser, is it?
Unbelievable, hey? I don't think they know the word wind chill.
No, I don't think they do either. Halverson
That he will shoot.
with the basket, and a tough one at that. Schwartz, Brennan Schwartz takes it hard to the basket, has the ball swatted away from him by McCarroll, and Brennan Schwartz will go to the line.
You know, and Simon Fraser doing a better job offensively this half, being a little patient, getting it in closer to the basket with their big people. They haven't relied as much on Pasha Baines. Much more patient than we saw in the first half.
40-33 was your score at the half. Now 44-37 is Brennan Schwartz at the line, 70% free throw shooter.
You know, and while we got this stop, I was just going to mention, too, talking about the women's game, we're talking about how good Simone Bouchard and Jessica Gazauka, and, of course, Jess from Regina, probably, you know, two of at least the three top players in the country from Regina. And meanwhile, Carolyn Gaines, another Saskatchewan kid, as a rookie, is starting down in University of Oregon, and their leading scorer right now. It's amazing the talent coming out of Saskatchewan in the women's program.
I'll tell you what, that show that Jessica Gazauka and Simone Bouchard put on tonight, I don't know what the pay is for the games for, but they definitely got their money's worth. Because that was just incredible tonight. That was, as I said in the first half, I don't think I've seen a better game in here, maybe with the exception of the game when Heather Dedman hit that shot to win Canada West. Michael with the shot, that doesn't go. William Porter with the basketball now. Now this is Arsenic. Arsenic tried to get it to Porter. Baines got a hand on it. And Regina will retain possession.
Yeah, and certainly unfortunate. Jess was probably the one recruit in Christine Stapleton's time here that got away. Understandable for the program she wanted to take, but, you know, how good would she have looked in a Cougar uniform?
Might be a couple more banners hanging up here. 3-point shot from Michael.
And again, unselfish play by Brennan Schwartz. Passed up a tough shot, found the wide open look.
Coming right back for SFU is Pasha Baines.
Oh, and how quick was that release?
In and out, just like that.
And he's got 17. They've got to keep him off the board here.
It's a quiet 17 that he's got as well.
You're right.
Schwartz. Hunter for three. That bounces off the front rim. And this is Antwi coming back. Baines. Halverson. You're right. Halverson won't even look at the basket anymore. Pander for three. That doesn't go. Rebound in and out of the hands of Baines, and Regina will take possession.
But you know what? Let's give Halverson some credit, too. He knows that's not his shot, and there's a lot of players who would shoot that. And
that
just
wide
take
open,
it.
they would, yeah.
You know, that's tough to pass up. He's disciplined. We got to give him that.
Yeah, you do.
He knows his role.
Another timeout is called here by James Hillis.
Okay, boys. Okay. Everybody's just going on the first side, right? Okay, and we've got a couple of good shots, but let's just reverse it. Just for me, just, you know, okay? Just because I'm asking you to, even if you don't think it's going to work, just do it. Okay? Reverse it through, set some screens, and then we can get some inside stuff to William, to Alec. We can't get them on the first side. They fight too hard on that. Okay? Let's go.
Dave, I got to get this in before it's over. Our producer-director tonight, Grant Nemeth, his last gig with Access 7 before he moves on. I've been working with Grant for a number of years now, doing Pats games, Cougar basketball games, Cougar hockey games, Rams football games. Tell you what, he is a grade A director-producer, and I know I will miss him here for future games and whatever else I'm doing for 7. So, Grant, best of luck, and it's been great working with you for the last few years. As Pasha Baines takes it hard to the basket and is fouled by Brennan Schwartz.
And not a bad foul by by Brendan Schwartz there. It was interesting that last time out, too. Coach Hill is doing the personal plea.
Yes.
Begging them, please, for me, send
Do
it to the
it
second
just for
side.
me. Yes.
I told you
Let's see what he has to say here.
When I say it, that means I want you to do it. Okay? Second of all, we said when we run the thumbs up, that wing has to get the hell out of there. Get out. If he's coming this way, the wing goes right through because Baines is just shooting that gap. That's all he's doing. So run him through. If he doesn't follow that guy over, look, if Baines is still sitting there, throw it to that guy, attack the basket off that other wing. Next offense down, 1-3-1. If we don't get the post drop, we reverse the basketball and we set the back screen. In transition, post down, reverse it, post back screen, keep going, flare, post back screen for the post. Okay? Let's go. Get some inside touches here.
So much for the personal plea. Just damn well do it.
A little more impassioned
Yeah.
that time. But you know what? Seriously, and from a technical aspect, Coach Hillis is right. They have to go second side. The first side, you're just running into a brick wall. Be patient. Do exactly what he's doing. And that's frustrating as a coach. You tell him one time out, make a little bit of a joke about it, and they still don't do it.
Yep. Pasha Baines at the line. Pasha now has 18. Leads his team in scoring and leads all game scorers.
And this is what Simon Fraser wants us. Keep it close, last 2 minutes, see what happens.
Pasha Baines now with 19, and as we talked about at the start of the game, he leads Canada West in scoring at 21.7 points per game. So Pasha Baines looks well on his way to equaling and surpassing that tonight. Joel Hunter.
Simon Fraser going with a little bit of zone here.
Arsenic. Little one-hander, and that just doesn't get the shooter's bounce he was looking for. Tough break there for Arsenic, and back come Simon Fraser. This is McCarroll. Charlton guilty of the travel. Doesn't like the call.
Yeah, not happy at all. Brent Charlton and William Porter got into it a little bit under the basket, both looking at the ref for a call, realized the refs didn't care, so they just let go and went on their way.
Joel Hunter. Inside to Porter. Porter kisses it off the window. James Hillis looking for a foul, and then Porter steals it away, but they're going to call that on the jump ball. I'll tell you what, William Porter looks like he is just about at the end of his rope.
Yeah, and you know what? I think there was some body there. Yeah.
William Porter hasn't had a break all night long, and now James Hillis is charged with a technical foul, as he basically said what I had just said. You haven't had a break all night long. You haven't given him one.
Yeah, and kept after the ref. I think he was justified, but the refs had had enough.
As you take a good look at the stoic James Hillis.
However,
fuming.
Again, talking coaching, if you're going to take a technical, not a bad time to do it. Send the message. I thought in our game there was a very questionable technical that the Simon Fraser coach took, in the sense that it ended up, could have been a 6-point play. You don't want to take a technical when the other team has the ball. When you have the ball and then you have the turnover. See if Coach Hillis gets, the idea in the refs' heads about calling some of those. Scott Clark, the Simon Fraser coach, making sure the refs, he's talking to the refs too, making sure that they don't side with Coach Hillis too much.
McCarroll. Charlton being watched by Arsenic. Down low, that's Baines. Schwartz just about whapped it out of his hands, and then 3-point shot.
Interesting, Pasha Baines didn't look for it, caught it in the mid-post, didn't even look to attack the basket. Maybe not quite as comfortable posting up as he is out on the wing.
Simon Fraser will retain possession here. McCarroll to inbounds. The new 30. Charlton being watched by Arsenic. Pander. McCarroll for 3. Good. (49-49) your score. 13 and change to go. Arsenic to Michael. Michael for 3. That doesn't go, and easy rebound for Pasha Baines.
And suddenly we got a tie game here.
Yep. 7-point lead for Regina at the half, and now it's tied. Regina will get the basketball as that pass goes out of bounds off the SFU player, and Regina will bring it back up the floor with Zach Michael inbounding it. Zach playing with 3 fouls, the only player in this game to have 3 at this time.
Well, since I'm working with such a learned man, I'm curious, where exactly is McCarroll from? Wodongo, Australia. Can you tell me where in Australia that is?
Well, somewhere somewhere close to Sydney, I'll say. Maybe around Melbourne. Michael with the shot. That doesn't go. Drummond hauls down the rebound. Gets it out to Hunter for Michael. Michael pulls it around to his bro. And they keep moving it around. Now Hunter. Joel Hunter goes to the trees and puts it in.
Joel's having a nice game here, taking open shots, looking to drive when he can, being an effective scorer as a sixth man off the bench.
Joel Hunter's having a great night. Baines, McCarroll shot, that doesn't go. And now it's Arsenic, and Arsenic couldn't quite save it.
Regina getting outscored here, 16-7 in the 16-11 second half, and more importantly, they're really struggling to score. I think it's a combination. Simon Fraser certainly stepped up the defense, but also Regina not being as patient as in the first half.
Charlton for three, that doesn't go. Joel Hunter knocks the ball away, and they sort of bang it around like a volleyball game out there, and finally goes off of entry and out of bounds. Hey, I'm just looking across underneath the scoreboard. I see ISM Canada, the uniform sponsor of the Cougar men's basketball team. You wouldn't think that missing hard drive might be in like some equipment, do you? Into some jerseys or something?
I think Pasha Baines just put down his second dunk of the game.
Pasha Baines with the basket, and it's now 51-51. Zach Michael to Joel Hunter. Hunter for three. That bounces off the rim. Rebound. Michael goes to the floor for it. Baines gets it. Now it goes right back into the hands of Zach Michael. Back to Ryan. Joel Hunter. Back to Ryan Michael. Tell Hillis to sit down for me, would you, Dave? Arsenic takes the shot. That's good.
You know, just quickly before we go to the timeout, Pasha Baines is putting on a performance tonight. Talk about scoring every tight, dunks, three-point shot at the line. You can see why he's one of the top players in Canada.
He's got game.
Yeah, he's going to be an All-Canadian this year,
Yeah,
no
he
doubt.
should be. He's got 23 tonight as we take it to Coach Ellis.
Zach, you're never leaving that spot, okay? We got to go. Wing down in the corner. Zach's coming down. Our perimeter guys are going to be like that, with that guy sliding depending on where the guy plays. Okay? All right? Well, no, Drummond. Yes. Okay, Drummond's going short corner. Alec, you run this mid-post triangle and attack out of there. Okay, can't be soft there. Listen, so can't pop out too much. All right, we got the perimeter guys there. Want to get you some deep catches and then attack off of it. All right? If the shot goes here, that off wing's got to go, right, to rebound the ball. And then we get back. Okay? And then we get back. We got to push down the corner. And no different with this zone than then. We reverse the ball corner to corner, right? And then look inside. Look for Alec rolling down the lane. Look for Drummond stealing up inside. Okay? Let's go. Let's be a little smarter there. Let's go.
You know what I like about that timeout? What I like the most is 0-0 for the Cougars. A little Cougar of the day is right beside Coach Ellis. He's watching everything. He was ready to go in.
He's learning.
We want 0-0. He was intense. He was just watching everything being drawn up.
Maybe he can guard Pasha Baines. Put me in, Coach. McCarroll. Out to Baines. Baines being watched by Arsenic. Moves around him. Michael takes over on that task, and now Charlton inside. McCarroll for three. Bounces off the rim. Going up high to get the rebound with Charlton. Can't connect. And then Hunter has it go off his hands out of bounds.
He's struggling big. One of the best, one of the top players in Canada West, and he's just struggling tonight. 2 points.
He must be one of the ones that thinks it's too cold. Yeah. Charlton puts it up, and that one spins in and out.
Just one of those nights.
Yeah, just one of those nights. Sort of like a night like Leah Anderson had for you guys.
Yeah.
She had about 5 or 6 wide open shots that just never went.
Well, and it's funny because Leah Anderson, our second night in Calgary, really was a turning point. She hit a wide open three with 2.5 minutes left to give us our first lead. Then, very talented shooter. She just couldn't hit that shot.
Not playing overtime. They're basically giving her the ball at the foul line. It's like
she was killing the crowd.
Yeah. Michael at the line. Gets the first one. Well, Ryan has 10. Zach yet to dent the score sheet tonight. Foul, by the way, was on Halverson, his second.
Oh, we got chaos here. They buzzed for a timeout. It was late. Then suddenly some refs are saying sub. Ryan's shooting. The horn's going. Scott Clark does not want Regina to shoot another shot.
I don't think Scott Clark should get his wish.
He's reciting the rule book right now. You know, it's been my experience. I found, though, I don't win many arguments with the refs.
No?
In fact, none.
But you've got such that convincing attitude, that convincing demeanor.
Well, you know, Scott Clark, I know, does know the rules. It's a very strong coach at Simon Fraser, played down in the NAIA when Simon was there. He knows his stuff, but he's not going to win this argument with Neil Donnelly.
I smell Cougar in behind me. Somebody's really going to wash that outfit one of these days. Ryan Michael gets the basket.
And now back to the game.
Yeah. Antwi. Stewart. McCarroll. You know, things are much more common when Becky's here.
She just doesn't play off you.
I guess. Halverson. Sean Stewart with it now. That's Baines being watched by Michael. Baines to Halverson. Drummond watching him. Halverson moves in on Drummond.
Nice little move.
Yep.
He knows his role.
Zach Michael. The brother Ryan. Ryan inside to Arsenic. Arsenic has it knocked out of his hands by McCarroll. And this is Antwi. And Jeff Antwi with the uncontested layup that he botched. And then they botched the rebound. And Baines can't get the third one to go. Halverson tries. And finally, we get a foul underneath.
Offensive rebounds, though. You got to limit them to one shot. Simon Fraser content to just sit in that zone. And Regina's just turning the ball over.
Arsenic guilty of the foul. That's his second.
I mean, you get a gift like that, the Simon Fraser guy, Andrew, missing the wide open layup, and nobody's there to rebound. What did they get? 2-3 offensive boards?
That was their
and then
fourth crack at it before the foul. And Halverson goes to the line. And now we'll see if Halverson can hit one from the foul line. He's got no choice but to shoot now. The defense rests.
However, I'm going to jump on his behalf again. 16 points.
Oh, without it, yeah, he's disciplined.
Oh, yeah. You know, and I like what Simon Fraser's doing. They find the guys they know can score on the perimeter. Their inside guys rebound the ball, go out hard at the old glass, and if you leave them alone inside, they'll score.
Michael. Ryan Michael dishes it off to Porter. Porter, rebound, finally gets one to go.
Great effort. Missed the first one, stayed with it.
Cougars up by 3 with 9 to go.
Starting to hear the crowd get into it a little bit more here, too.
Baines for, they're going to say it's a 2. And a timeout will be charged here to Simon Fraser as Pasha Baines hits the 2, his foot just on the line. I thought he had a 3 ball and we had a tie basketball game.
See what Coach Hillis has?
You can see there.
Okay, Joel, go back for Drummond.
Great shot from underneath our camera there by one of our volunteers that Baines did have his foot on the line.
Let's see what double zero's doing in the timeout.
You got 24. Okay? Right? Zach, you can't. Like, you're passing the ball down to the wing, and then you're going out to here. And you're matching right up again, right? Okay, well, stay, like, cut him, right? Like, I mean, you going up here, reversing the ball that high, let him come out, all right, and then we should be able to get the ball into the high post. Okay? You guys understand that? Like, bring the ball down here, then we're reversing the ball to Zach up at half court. All right? We need to keep him in. If they pump out on this spot right here, then we got to go to the high post. Then we have to go to the high post. Right now, we got Maddie in the high post, perimeter, perimeter, perimeter. Okay? Move the ball. And you know what? We can still attack off the dribble. Baines doesn't guard any better in the zone. We can still attack Baines off the dribble. Okay? Let's go. Hey, listen. Defensively, we're right there on boards. We're just not coming up with the ball. Let's lock it up. Okay, let's lock it up. Go.
Stopping Pasha Baines. That's what he wants.
Well, and what he's saying too is that even in their zone, Baines doesn't want to play a lot of defense. That's always been the knock on him, whether he likes to play defense, so they're wanting to attack him. He's having a seat now. You know, and we're talking, like, he's put up 25 points, and you said it was a quiet. You're right. He hasn't gone on a streak where he's put up 6, 7 in a row. He's just consistent.
Bucket here, a bucket there. Matt Cherkis in the game for Regina. Michael lost his dribble, gets it back. Zach Michael out to Cherkis. Zach to Ryan. Ryan for 3 from the corner. That falls off the rim, and it's going to go harmless out of bounds. They give it back to Regina.
Well, and Simon Fraser's doing such a good job here on defense. In the first half, we saw wide open threes after a couple of passes. They're extending their zone out on the Regina shooters, and Ryan had to shoot that with somebody right in his face. First half, that was an open look.
Hunter to Arsenic in the corner.
Going man here for Simon Fraser.
Hunter to Porter. Porter fighting amongst two, gets it to go.
Great shot. You know, that was some good defense inside. Made him hit it over top of him, leaned a little bit, and he hit it over Halverson, all 6-8 of them.
Halverson with the foul, his third. We'll see Porter right there and gets the roll. William Porter goes to the line. He might be getting these calls now in the second half, but he wasn't getting in the first.
And all these free throws, of course, are key down the stretch. 3-point lead right now.
William Porter, 63% from the line. No problem with that.
It's what I talked about. You can just see Simon Fraser's energy going up as they realize, hey, the clock's winding down and we're still in this game.
Halverson. McCarroll from the top of the key. Can't connect. And Joel Hunter will bring it back for Regina. Hunter to Schwartz. Schwartz. Arsenic. Way off the shot, and Halverson with the rebound. This is McCarroll.
I thought that was a bit of an early shot by Alec Arsenic. I think they could have been a little more patient. That was a critical possession. As this one is, you know, extend it to 6 or 7 points a lead.
McCarroll tried to be fancy, paid the price, and he gave it away. Hunter to Porter. Porter working on Halverson. Porter spins, under, up, doesn't get it to go, rebound doesn't go. Arsenic with the follow. Arsenic has 17.
Well, and again, and that worked out by Will Porter making a nice move in the hustle by Alec Arsenic, but they have to go two sides, not just attack on the first side against the zone defense. We'll watch next possession if they do that.
McCarroll. Charlton, Charlton with the shot. That doesn't go. Charlton just cannot get anything to go, and now we've got a technical, and it's going against Charlton.
Yeah, and he's been frustrated all game. Will Porter's got to watch it, though. Will Porter's signaling for the technical. Him and Charlton got wound up together. Don't take another one.
We're going to see it here. We're going to see Charlton miss the shot. I think he wanted to foul on Arsenic is what he was looking for, and then...
Well, and you know what? He can't take that technical because he dove into Arsenic, and then I think him and Porter got...
Well, we can keep that rolling here for a bit.
Here.
Did Porter and Charlton get tied up here or not? Well, we're not going to see it.
Yeah, I thought something happened. They've been battling
all night. As Joel Hunter connects on the tee. And it's now 64-56.
Yeah, not a good technical to take, not with Joel Hunter on the floor hitting a couple. Now it's 8 points again.
Charlton sits down. Porter goes to the basket. And
Porter, William, be careful.
Porter's going to take one here, too. And James Hillis may want to sit Porter down for a couple of minutes again and calm him down.
You know, James did a good job, actually. He distracted the ref a little bit, talked to him, got the focus away from William Porter.
But Porter's fired up, and you want that with 7:20 to go.
Yeah, there's a fine line, though, isn't there?
Three-pointer put up. That doesn't go. Joel Hunter comes down with the rebound. Hunter has Cherkis and Schwartz with him, slows it down. Arsenic has it stolen by Antwi. And back comes Simon Fraser. This is Baines. Baines for three. Good.
Yeah, and I mean, great shot. Not to take anything away from him. Coach Hillis is right. He didn't want to play any D down here. He's guarding Alec Arsenic, and I think Alex can take advantage of that.
Arsenic being watched by Baines again. Porter. Baines moves in to work on him. Double team him. Now Porter goes strong. Dishes it off. And this is Hunter for three, and it's good.
Yeah. What a game Joel Hunter's having.
Joel Hunter, his third tray of the night.
You know, not only has he got 17, he's got it without taking lots of shots. All smart shots, hitting high percentage.
67-59 Regina. Baines watched by Cherkis.
You can see Matt Cherkis being physical with him.
McCarroll fouled by Arsenic as he went around him. For Arsenic, that's his third foul. William Porter comes off, and Dave, yeah, you can tell he's frustrated as he comes off. As he's mumbling to himself. Baines puts it up. That's not going to go. Shot wouldn't have counted. And Ryan Michael's going to get the foul, and Ryan Michael questioning that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I thought, if anything, might have been a travel. I thought it was pretty good defense.
Coach Hill is doing some more lobbying.
Yeah, making the point, and, you know, valid, that Pasha Baines is getting a lot of calls, and he's going to the line a ton, more so than most of the Regina guys. He just wants the calls both ways.
Baines for three. That doesn't go. Rebound. Nice job of McCarroll to keep it alive for SFU. Antwi. Baines directing traffic. Halverson working on Drummond, and Drummond's going to be charged with a foul.
You know, and we've mentioned it before, but you can't get better value for your money for sporting events in Regina. You get to come out here, see Jessica Kozauka put up 34,
Yep.
Simone Bouchard 33, Pasha Baines up at 28. You're just not going to see that type of basketball for this price.
No, I agree with you, Dave. You know, the fact that your games have been sold out, the men's game sold out again tonight. They're sold out the Saturday game against Simon Fraser as well. You know that if you guys host a playoff game, that it will be sold out. And, you know, there's no reason why this can't be the case every weekend. And not only with just the basketball teams, but I think the hockey team, the volleyball team. Because, again, you know, University of Alberta comes in here for hockey, number one team in the country.
Yeah.
Manitoba coming in here for volleyball, and Saskatchewan, their top 10 teams. You're seeing top 10 teams coming in here all the time. And some of the top athletes in Canada. Porter with the basket. And as you said, a Jessica Kozauka, Simone Bouchard matchup. And even if it's Simone Bouchard, you know, against a lesser team like a Brandon, whose women's team isn't that great again this year, still, she is the price of admission. Baines puts it up, and he's fouled.
Same thing. Yeah, don't let the U of R know, but I'd pay money to watch Simone.
Oh, I would too.
U
In
of
fact,
R,
I think I said it last time. There's been a lot of great players that have gone through this program. You know, players like Jackie Moore and Trina Mott, and you know, just to name two off the front. And there's been a lot of great players that have been here, but I think Simone Bouchard may be the best of the bunch.
well, and the thing with her and Jessica Kozauka tonight is they put up big points against top teams and playing on top teams. It's not like we don't have other scores.
Yep.
Simone's putting it up, you know, next to Jana Schweitzer, Lara Schmidt. It's not like she's our only option. Again, what
You
Coach
get to have her for one more year, correct?
Yes, we do. You know, and as much as I like Jessica Kozauka, I'm glad I never have to coach against her again.
That what?
That I never have to coach against her again. Next time I see her, it'll be when she's wearing a Canada uniform.
Yeah, exactly. And you never know, she might be playing on the same team as Simone then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure, but I think Simone might have a pretty good connection to Team Canada, I think. Some woman named Stapleton or something?
Well, and further to that, it's funny, Jessica Kozauka, the women's national team coach right now, Alison McNeil, coached Jessica for her first 3 years at
That's
Simon
right,
Fraser.
yeah. Arsenic with the basket.
Yeah, 7-point lead, 8 if he can hit this. And again, the guys now, you know, it was a tie game. They've extended it back out to 8. This is what they need. Come down, be patient every time.
Alec Arsenic with 19. He leads all Cougar scorers. Antwi. To John Boating, who's making his first appearance of the night.
And we haven't seen Brent
Baines.
Charlton again.
No, we haven't. And Baines with a nice pass inside to Halverson. And Halverson with the basket. Lead is 6. 4.5 to go. Or pardon me, 4:45 to go. Schwartz. Bryden Wright. Bryden Wright, right wing. Puts it down low to Porter. Porter. Cross court, Joel Hunter. Hunter being watched by Boating. Hunter spins, shoots, scores.
That is a tough shot. But, you know, as I look up at the scoreboard, you got 4 Cougars out there with double figures.
And then Joel Hunter doing it on the defensive side as he takes the charge.
And we've talked, that's the strength of the team this year. They got 4 guys out there, double figures. Alec Arsenic and Joel Hunter, both with 19, not your regular high scores. You look at Simon Fraser, they got 30, 21, and the next guy's 5.
Yep.
The balance on this Cougar team is just unbelievable.
Zach Michael bringing it up the floor for Regina. Michael to Hunter. Hunter, lob pass for Porter. Porter right there. Tell you what, Joel Hunter's having a great game all around. And he's shown it with about the last 2 minutes.
You know, and again, to set this up, Coach Hillis is right. To be sure of hosting the playoffs here in Regina, the men really need to go 4-0 because Brandon may not lose. You hope they drop one to UBC, but you got to take the sweep here, go into Manitoba, beat them, control your own destiny.
Arsenic pulled down the rebound, and back come Regina.
And, you know, how exciting would that be to have Brandon come in here for playoffs?
Well, I know one thing. If you're here, we're doing the game.
Well,
Baines. Well, yeah, hopefully you won't be here.
Yeah. And you can't get Coach Speedy either. Hopefully he won't be here as well. If you're not careful, we're going to put Reggie the Cougar here.
No, we don't want that.
Okay, let's hear what Coach Hillis has got to say in this timeout.
Can we go rip a zone here, or what's that? Can we go rip a zone? We'll lose them, eh? We're good now.
We're good. Okay, you're going back. Go sub. Okay? Okay, good job. Okay? Listen, we just lost the focus a little bit in terms of how we're guarding guys. And we're watching Pasha Baines on the wing, and then we're not getting off on other guys, right? Okay? So we're off the big guys. If Baines goes down to the post, we double him immediately. All right? And off of number 10, run over there quickly, all right? And back him so he can't get to the basket. And then you know that you got to be there for the three-point shot. Three-point shot's your problem. But bring him left so that the help knows where he's going. Always left. He's a dynamite shooter going right and not so much left. Okay? All right. Offensively, listen. 1-3-1. All right? Go high post and down. If you don't get the catch, high post and down.
Well, James Hillis saying about Pasha Baines, what you were saying at the start of the game, make him go left.
Well, and did you notice, though, the key coaching moment was at the start of the timeout, Coach Hillis turned to his assistant coach to ask what he should do. That's a sign of a good coach.
Because the assistant coach is always the key, right?
Well, and Coach Burrows certainly knows what he's talking about. Steve Burrows, assistant coach, 9 years. What was that, Coach Hillis?
I said, that's why we win. William Porter with the basketball. Hook shot, good.
Well, and let's be certainly Steve Burrows, one of the top coaches in Saskatchewan, does know his sevens. Hillis is smart enough to get a second opinion.
Boating with the basketball. Being watched by Schwartz. And then Porter takes it away, goes to the floor, and they're going to call that on Boating.
Well, and let's watch this here. Let's see if Ryan Michael does force Pasha Baines left. Because James made the good point, is if you force him left, everybody knows on the help side defense where he's going and can rotate, and you can rotate out and pick up the three-point shooter on the pitch.
Going to have a discussion here as the referees have a little bit of a conference here, and now they're going to give the ball to Simon Fraser. McCarroll. Pasha Baines. Baines being watched by Michael.
Forced him left there. Good job.
Pander to Halverson. McCarroll puts it up for 3. Doesn't go. Rebound into the hands of Arsenic.
You know, and Scott Clark, the SFU coach, is obviously not happy with Brent Carlton because we have not seen him since that technical. Not that he was playing great, but, you know, he is one of the top.
Well, he could be a spark, in the last 4 minutes or so, but he's not in. 2.5 to go now, and I don't think we're going to see Charlton for the rest of the night. Hunter with 7 on the shot clock. Joel Hunter. Tough shot.
Oh, my. Joel is feeling it.
He's got the rhythm.
Well, and it was something I've heard Coach Hills and Coach Burrow say to Joel all year. They want him to be more aggressive. He's so talented, and sometimes early in the season he was giving up looks on shots. He has to be aggressive because he is an offensive talent.
24 has 21 tonight, and then a foul charge on Hunter. He was run over by Baines.
You know, and it seems every time Pasha Baines there's contact, he gets sent to the line. And he's forcing a lot of stuff. Ryan Michael fouls out on that, his 5th foul. And I'm not sure that was a foul. I thought Ryan had pretty good position.
Ryan Michael fouls out with 11.
See Coach Glenn Zabo from Campbell giving Ryan a little good job.
Pasha Baines misses, much to the delight of the crowd here at the Pack. At least an isolated group of...
So down the stretch, what you are here has to do is be patient. Don't turn the ball over in the press.
Schwartz to Porter, the big man!
And throw the alley-oop in transition. I was about to say that.
Big man with the alley-oop. Coming right back is Baines.
Yeah, and that's what they don't want. They don't want quick scores by Simon Fraser. Really, I think one more score by Regina wraps this up.
Drummond doesn't go. Rebound.
Yeah, too early of a shot. That's a bad decision. Bryden Wright, a rookie mistake. You don't need the shot that early. No matter how open you are.
Baines with a long pass for Boating. And that went off Boating's hands and out of bounds. And now you hear James Hill is telling his team to use the clock. Scott Clark not happy with the call that gives Regina the ball.
Really, you don't need another shot. You can go 30 seconds, not get a shot, and Simon Fraser doesn't have enough time.
Vaquero knocks the ball out of Hunter's hands. With 90 seconds to go and the Cougars up by 11, I think this is pretty safe. And now Scott Clark calling a timeout.
You know, I think it might be time for the U of R to change some of those light bulbs up in the score sheet. I noticed when the buzzer sounds, a couple of the bulbs in the 81 come on.
Oh, really? All right.
I was trying to figure out if it was 81 or 87.
The things that you notice during the men's game that you don't notice during the women's game.
Well, I notice it, but Speedy always turns to me and tells me to pay attention.
All right. I noticed that.
If you're stuck, if you're in a trap and you can't see a guy, you turtle it up and we'll call timeout. Okay, we'll call timeout. Now, yeah, be careful.
You might have to bring Speedy in your next time. Make this a 3-man show.
Okay, side out of bounds right now. We go box. All right, we run side out. Good screen up top. The guy who sets the screen up top, you got to roll back hard to the ball. Okay, Alec, you got to come through, but when you come through, curl it up towards the ball. So we're not throwing it flat down the corner. You got her? Okay, William, you set a nice screen there for Alec. Okay? And we don't need to shoot here, boys. Okay, clock's on our side. Right? Nothing before 10 seconds. Let's go.
See if James gets this subtle suggestion to get 0-0 in the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's time to put 0-0
Maybe Hillis should put 0-0 in the game and see if he can do something here in this last minute 27. He's got me on ignore mode.
Oh, yeah, now he's not quite as interested. There, now he's back in it.
Arsenic. To Hunter.
15 seconds of fame on Access
TV. Yeah, there
TV.
you go. Hunter fouled by Halverson.
What Coach Hills was saying in the timeout, too, is right, is worst case scenario, just turtle up with the ball, protect it. They'll call a timeout rather than get the 5-second clock. Simon Fraser has to foul at this point.
Can you put 0-0 on the shoulders of Porter to give him a slam? Hunter.
The applications for Cougar for a day are going to go way up
Yep.
now with all the press time, media time they're getting.
Again, I think Coach Hillis should put 0-0 in for the last minute 17.
And Mitchell, you're too old for
Yeah, I know.
Cougar of the day.
I know.
You can be Reggie for the day.
No, that's okay. To see Reggie go at it with Harvey the Hound in a mange take-all match.
You know, Regina, once that got to that tie game, they've tightened up their defense since. And that's really what's won them the game down the stretch, is they forced Simon Fraser into tough shots. They've come down, they've executed, two sides of the floor, gotten good looks, and now they've pulled away here. Good win for them tonight.
Baines misses the three. Joel Hunter comes down with the rebound, and he is fouled by Antwi, and that's his second foul, and Joel Hunter will go to the line.
So this will drop Simon Fraser at 8 and 9 tonight, third place in Pacific Division.
And they were 7-1 at one point, remember, and number one in Canada.
You know, and as good as Jordan Mason is, certainly taking one player shouldn't drop them this much. They just have never recovered from that. Regina is going to move to 11 and 6 and be watching, going home and checking the internet for the Brandon UBC score.
CanadaWest.org.
Yeah, and put a plug in for that if you're a stats fan at all. It is amazing, and they have it updated within hours.
That's where I get all my information from for Rams games, basketball games, hockey games. Of course, I usually get it from the fine SIO here, Brad Woods, but you know, every now and then I have to do some of my own homework. But that's the place to go, is CanadaWest.org if you want to know anything about university sports. It's a great website.
Well, Regina did their job tonight. I mean, Pasha Baines put up the big numbers, but they held the rest of the team down, holding them to 70 points. They're right on their season average for scoring, 85 points a game, but they held a good Simon Fraser team down to 70.
And more importantly, they have now scored more than they've given up.
Yes.
Joel Hunter to Porter, and they're just going to play with it here for the final 25 seconds.
Well, and, you know, we talked about this with the guys a lot. They really held their composure
Yeah,
tonight.
they did.
And that wasn't the case in Calgary, so good to see them respond. And this is a tough team at home. You do not want to come in here in the playoffs and have to play this team.
No, you don't. And with 10 seconds left, the crowd's going to let the Cougars show their appreciation.
Good night of basketball at the pack.
Certainly was. And it is time to go home. Check, please, as the final buzzer sounds. So a successful night for both Cougar basketball teams as the men win 85-70. And Joel Hunter, the top scorer, with 25 points for Regina. The women's game, it was a classic. 87-83 in overtime as the number 4 ranked Cougars beat the number 1 ranked team in Canada. And as I said, these are the last home games of the year for the Cougars, but certainly you'd have to think that either your team, Dave, or the men's team will be here for playoff action. So the Cougars take both. For Becky Poley and Dave Taylor, I'm Mitchell Blair. You've been watching Access 7 Sports. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Simple truth. The key to being successful is listening. Listening to what my customers want and doing everything in my power to deliver it with uncompromising quality at a fair price.
We still listen to what our customers want. That's why in developing our lifestyle products, which are either lower in fat or sodium reduced, we never compromise taste. Schneider's, JM would be proud.
If you're a barley grower, you're probably familiar with Achieve or Superior Wild Oat Control. But what's new is that Achieve is now Achieve Liquid. Easier to handle. It provides exceptional control of wild oats while being gentle on your barley. Achieve Liquid. Soft as silk. Tough as nails.
Global Sports is brought to you by Auto Parts Plus.
You know what it means to be part of the team. Now join the winningest team in the auto care industry, Auto Parts Plus, one of the fastest growing networks of independent auto part distributors. We carry all national brand names, delivered promptly, just about anywhere in Canada. Auto Parts Plus, the power of a North American network. Look for your local Auto Parts Plus store.
It's 11 o'clock, and this is Global Sports. Tonight, the Rangers reacquire Kovalev as the Penguins purge their payroll. Matt Hubbard returns to the Pats lineup but has no health worries after missing 3 games. And James Hillis discusses the men's basketball team's first-place finish on Cougar Tracks. Good evening and welcome to Global Sports. I'm Bob Krawczyk. Woody's Tankard coverage has gone into extra ends. We expect to be back tomorrow. Also on the program tonight, Brad Hull trying to get that elusive 700th goal. Adam, Tier 2 hockey is the focus of our game of the week, and it looks like Bryden's bid is good for the Senators. All this plus much more coming up. But we start with a huge trade in the NHL. Today's deal between the Rangers and Penguins, not only huge in the number of players, 8 in total, but also that it involved one of the most explosive players in the game. Today, the Rangers reacquiring forward Alexei Kovalev, the NHL's 4th leading scorer, along with defensemen Yanni Laukinen and Mike Wilson, and forward Dan Lacouture. In return, the Penguins get forwards Rico Fata and Mikhail Samuelson, along with defensemen Joel Bouchard and Richard Linter. The Penguins also get a reported $4 million in cash. And even though the Penguins needed to dump salary and grab some coin, you think they could have tried to get a Jamie Lundmark or a Garth Murray in the deal, someone that may actually turn out to be a decent NHLer and is relatively cheap right now, but they didn't. So good luck selling tickets in Pittsburgh, especially now that they've made a team actually below them in the standings, that is the Rangers, much better. Well, just 3 games in the NHL tonight in Detroit. The Wings entertaining the San Jose Sharks. Brett Hull still looking for that elusive 700th goal. He hadn't scored in his last 7 contests. Meanwhile, like Hull, the Wings as a team slumping with just 1 win in their last 9 games and only 6 points ahead of a 9th place Chicago Blackhawks. And not a good start tonight for the Red Wings. First period, Mark Smith with the goal. Sharks take a 1-0 lead. Manny Legacy getting the start in place of Curtis Joseph, and he was sharp in the second. Right here, a number of saves, the last one on Marco Sturm. And then with the Sharks up 2-1, Brendan Shanahan, the power play goal on a 2-man advantage, and we are tied at 2 apiece. And then the moment everyone's been waiting for, Pavel Datsyuk to Brett Hull. That's number 700. He now joins the likes of Gretzky, Howe, Esposito, Gardner, and Dion as the only players with 700 or more goals. Wings led 4-3 in the third, but Scott Thornton scores on the power play. We are tied at 4 apiece, but with less than 3 minutes to play, Patrick Boileau, the hero on the night. That's the game winner as the Wings snap a 6-game winless slide with a 5-4 win over the San Jose Sharks. The Chicago Blackhawks in Vancouver tonight. Jocelyn Thibault leading the NHL with 7 shutouts, and he had some good luck early on. Marcus Naslund, the shot, Thibault gets a piece of it, goes off the post and stays out. But in the second, Mats Lindgren will find Trent Klatt. He beats Thibault for his 11th of the season. 1-0 Canucks at this point. Since then, Marcus Naslund has scored, and late in the third period now, the Canucks leading the Blackhawks 2-0. Wild and the Flyers tonight. Manny Fernandez back in the Wild net after missing 10 games. Todd Fedoruk, the former Pat. One punches Matt Johnson. Turn out the lights for Mr. Johnson. He is done for the night. Fernandez, though, in his first game back, awfully sharp in the Wild goal. Kim Johnson with the shot. Fernandez with the glove save. Then Brad Brown tangles with Fedoruk, and it's been a pretty good scrap. A lot of punches being thrown, not that many landing, but a busy night for the former Pat, Todd Fedoruk. Pasquale Dupuis to Jim Dowd. Back to Dupuis. He scores, and that makes it 1-0 in favor of the Wild. And that was enough insurance for Mr. Fernandez tonight. Jeremy Roenick stopped by the Wild netminder, and then newly acquired Todd Warner with the opportunity. But Fernandez gets the blocker on it. His first shutout of the season. The Wild win for the first time in their history over the Flyers. The final tonight, 1-0 for Minnie. Well, a great sight for the Pats and their fans last night as Matt Hubbard returned to the lineup and scored the tying goal in a 1-1 draw with Brandon. Hubbard had missed 3 games, and with his history of concussions, coupled with the operation to remove a sinus tumor, there was plenty of concern amongst the Pats faithful. But Hubbard says he's feeling fine and was just being careful.
Well, definitely, after I've gone through, I'm going to take every precaution whenever, if I'm not feeling quite right. You can't fool around with that kind of stuff. And, fortunately, it was maybe a minor thing, but it's time to, move on and get back to playing again. Yeah, I think just getting back to the basics and doing the simple things, and with that you gain a lot of confidence out there, and that's something I've been probably lacking a greater part of the games I played, and that's key for me in my game.
Time for trivia here on Global Sports. Our sponsor tonight, the good friends down at Taylor Field. 2 tickets to a regular season game, excluding Labor Day, on the line if you can answer tonight's trivia question, which is, when the Rangers sent Alexei Kovalev along with Harry York to Pittsburgh back in '98, what players did they get in return? If you haven't won in the last 90 days, you think you know the answer, call the number you see on your screen. As always, our operators are standing by. When we return here on Global Sports, Cougar men's basketball coach James Hillis live in studio to talk about his team's first place finish, and our minor game of the week featuring some Adam Tier 2 hockey. Very exciting. Stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by award-winning Western Premium Lager and Western Premium Light. Proudly Western, truly great.
Ask yourself 2 questions. What do you love to do? And why aren't you doing it?
Discover Afterworks. Talk to your investment advisor or visit agf.com.
On a boarding call for Edmonton. Mr. Messier, how about an autograph?
Sorry, I got a plane to catch. Hey, kid. How about one of those chips?
Just one.
Lay's. Always fresh. Bet you can't eat just one.
How about one for my 3rd cousin twice removed?
Everybody jump, jump! Using the City of Regina Big Blue Bins to recycle paper and cardboard is the smart thing to do.
Yeah, jump, jump!
It's also smart to flatten all paper and cardboard containers. The flatter, the better. It's simple and it takes less room.
Everybody jump, jump!
So, recycle. It's the smart thing to do, flat and simple. Recycling works.
Everybody jump, jump, jump!
When you're smiling, yeah, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Yeah, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through.
No matter what happens, you're going to have a great year with GM's payment-free 2003 event. Don't pay till next year, or get 0% purchase financing and don't pay for 100 days on your widest choice of vehicles.
Cougar Tracks is sponsored by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, Regina's premier sports bar, and Accent Automotive, the ones to trust.
Welcome to another edition of Cougar Tracks. Joining us live in studio is the head coach of the men's basketball team, James Hillis. James, thanks for staying up later, first of all. And second of all, congratulations in order for the first time in the school's history, a GPAC regular season title. Your thoughts on that clearly was something I knew that you'd hoped you'd be able to get.
Well, definitely. It's sort of one step in our progression, hopefully, here to winning the division and against Canada West, and then from there winning a game and getting to nationals. I mean, that's ultimately where we want to be. But there's also a bit of sense of history, if you will. I've been around since 1983, and our school's never done it right since its inception in 1968, and where they started participating in athletics, we've never won the conference or the division. So that's important, and it's the first time since 1984 that anybody but Brandon has won. University of Manitoba won it that year, and so it's nice to sort of get that monkey off our back, if you will, and give ourselves a good opportunity to win the division.
When you started the season, did you realistically think that that was something that you could do?
It was, and but I've thought that before, and but we managed to get together with this group, and we've got a nice group in terms of veterans and rookies meshing together, big guys, little guys, good shooting on the perimeter and good scoring inside. So I was hopeful that maybe this might be the year that we could get it done, and it's panned out that way, and we controlled our own destiny right throughout, and that's been tremendously positive.
You touched on it a bit before. To me, it's unbelievable that it's almost been 2 decades since somebody other than Brandon has won the GPAC title. You think, that maybe somebody one year could fluke it off or something. I guess what's it been like maybe to break down that Brandon mystique this year? Not only did you win the GPAC title, but you beat him 3 out of 4 times.
Yeah, we beat Brandon 3 out of 5 last year, and we beat them before, but they've always been so consistent with the other opponents, with the other teams, and we needed to match that consistency. We didn't lose any other games that likely we shouldn't have lost. We beat the University of Manitoba 4 times. We beat Winnipeg 3 out of 4, and those kind of games. It is a credit to their program. I mean, Jerry always seems to find players. I don't know where he gets them, but he always seems to find guys, and he's kept that program on the top shelf for that many years. It is a credit to what they've done out there.
You get a week off now, the luxury of winning the regular season title. You get that bye, which is key. I guess how key is it for this team?
Well, we've got a few injuries we'd like to heal up a little bit. Brandon Schwartz's hand, he's got a broken bone in his hand, so it would be nice for that to knit fully. Matt Cherkas did his ankle and didn't make the trip to University of Manitoba. We'd like to have him back. But the rest is good, I think. It's good for kids to catch up on homework and some of those types of things as well, which don't necessarily
There's that
affect
school thing.
Yeah, exactly, that whole student-athlete thing. So that'll be nice as well. And I think just the whole ability to host. The week off is not as important to me as our ability to host Brandon or whoever comes out of that semifinal. I wouldn't bet against Winnipeg necessarily either. Winnipeg's very good this year. And to have them in our own gym with our own fans, we shoot the ball so much better here. And I know tickets are going on sale next Monday morning, 8 o'clock or 8:30 or something, and I'm sure it'll be sold out by 8:45. So
they won't last long.
The atmosphere in that gym is going to be absolutely tremendous, and we really feed off that, and it enables us to play better.
You touched on the semifinal matchup, which you're going to go do some scouting for this weekend. Brandon hosting Winnipeg. Do you have a preference?
I don't really. We'd have to beat either one that comes out, and we're 3-1 against both this year, so I really don't have a preference that way. Obviously, Brandon historically has been able to get it done at the end of the year. We're going to go, we've got good scout books, obviously, on both teams, but Steve and I are going to head out there and see if, somebody, playoff time, maybe try something a little bit different, maybe new personnel or new arrangements of personnel. So we'll make sure that we've got everything covered that way. And I don't know, I wouldn't bet against Winnipeg. I'd say Brandon's always been the favorite, but Winnipeg's a good team this year. They got good big guys and real quick perimeter, so they're tough.
I know you don't want this to happen to you, but hosting the GPAC final, if things don't go your way that weekend, what do you feel your chances are of getting a wild card? How important is it to have to win this to guarantee that? Because based on what else could happen in the playoffs.
Well, I think our wild card chances are slim. The top 10 rankings and the way they've gone this year, which haven't necessarily been fair, we could probably have a whole half-hour show about that. But that will hurt us because there's 4 criteria out of 10 that bear on top 10 weeks in the top 10, highest ranking in the top 10, average in the top 10 in your final ranking. And we should be okay in the final ranking, but other than that, our lack of appearance in that top 10 has hurt us. We've been in and out, but to not be there consistently has not been good for us this year. So we really, we got to win our way there. It's playoffs, and I don't think you want a backdoor. And typically the traditionally strong programs, when I say that, it's like figure skating over the last 10 years, are the ones that get the wild card. Fair or not, that's the way it is. So you got to win, and win 2 games, and you're in the Canada West Final Four, and that's where you need to be.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it, James. Thanks a lot for stopping in tonight.
Thanks
best of luck during the bye week, and then in the week preceding the GPAC final should be very exciting for sure. Cougar men's basketball coach James Hill is joining us in the studio tonight. As we go to break, your Cougar calendar. Stay with us.
Cougar Tracks is sponsored by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, Regina's premier sports bar, and Accent Automotive, the ones to trust.